Okay, should be live and all working fine. Hey everybody! Had a waiting room this time. Leveling up in the world. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to cover today. Well, not really that much. There's some stuff I want to cover, but we're going to be focusing on this Big Joel video first. Anita Sarkeesian and the people who hate her. This was the goal last stream, and we met it. Although a little afterwards, but it's fine. I'll still react to it. This video's from 7 years ago. Man, if only I could go back. If only. But we're gonna talk about some other stuff first. First off, the World Cup. So, Argentina beat England and Spain beat France. Hell yeah, let's freaking go. I'm pretty happy with this, okay? Obviously, France, England, they loaded up their teams with a billion Africans, okay? And they got beat by Spain and Argentina. Alright, so, honestly, whichever team wins, I mean, I think I'm happy, okay? I can accept it, alright? Especially if Argentina wins, I'm going all in on Argentina, alright? Besides that, though, I guess the match is on the 19th. Really making us wait for this. But that's fine. What else was there? Oh, yeah. This is the Blue Archive drama. Actually, I'm going to talk about this after a few more people join, because I'll probably make it the goal. Oh, yeah, that's his channel. Anyway, so My Hero Academia Netflix live-action adaptation is reportedly in works. Written by Jason Fuchs. Jason Fox. That's what it looks like to me. Oh man, they got the Ice Age Continental Drift guy on this? Man, hell yeah. Fuck, you know, I swear, like, every other week I hear about a new fucking live-action anime project. When would it end? Who wants this shit? I sure as fuck don't. Man. Oh yeah, by the way, thanks, Mr. Knight, for joining. But yeah, what the hell? Because there's the Sword Art Online one, there's the Netflix One Piece, there's Netflix Cowboy Bebop. Like, no one wants this shit. Man. But, I don't know, I guess Hollywood is clean out of ideas, so they just gotta keep milking the cow. They gotta keep milking anime, because anime is actually kind of popular. But, like, I'm not... You know, I kind of wonder what's even... I don't know. What's even the point, you know? Of a live-action movie? Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Fuck, I was about to suggest an interesting analysis on romance comedy. I forgot the title of the video. I saw a video... I don't know, that reminds me. I think there was this one... I think it was Colleen... Manga Rex, who made a video on like shonen versus shoujo romance. I thought about what we're gonna have to go into the Colleen Manga Rex and rabbit hole one of these days. I'm not looking forward to that though. Fuck. Anyways though, so yeah, so this is I thought this was funny. I love how antis genuinely try so hard to rewrite history, likely because they are malicious, under-researched, or both. Vosh has been avidly anti-lolicon for years and actively argued with them before anything related to his folder, lol. He's a hypocrite on your side, yeah. People always trying to bring up, like, people bringing up Vosh here. Let's see.
Spams away. Guys, every time this happens, the exact same way. Like, it goes the exact same way every single time. Her community and her are full of Nazis. She doesn't care about the Nazi shit that much, probably. She just wants to make money off the fact that most Nazis are pedophiles. If you wanted to like, think about it, guaranteed income source. Put on the voice of a child, have like a childlike VTuber avatar, appeal to Nazis. Perfect. Like market 101 shit, you know? Right there. Perfect alignment.
Did you hear about what Vosh said about you? Yeah, I think he said I'm a Nazi. That's interesting. He thinks everyone's a Nazi.
Yeah, so... yeah, but this is like this was the lolicon, they want to pretend that this guy was like a lolicon warrior or something, like, give me a break, man. I don't know, I think this guy has been saying a lot of bullshit. Like, what the fuck's this guy even going on about here? I don't know, I don't really care.
Lolicon is a form of...
Oh fuck, this shit is funny. This is EDP. Okay, hopefully you know about EDP.
Lolicon is a form of fucking child porn. True.
Yeah, so EDP. Okay, actual predator out here saying Lolicon is pedophilia. This is the thing. You know, like, aunties always are like, oh, it's pedo shit. It's way, way more common for aunties to be outed as pedophiles than for lolicons to be. Alright? It's honestly almost shocking how often it happens. It's like during the Asmongold drama, if you guys remember that, okay? While Asmongold is saying lolicon is pedophilia, there's an entire controversy going on in the background where some artist who is anti-lolicon gets outed for being a sex pest. It's crazy. The reset the clock meme is real.
Guys.
Jeez. Man. Hello, Elias guys. Yo, good noon. Kai. VA drama. Usually it's just community filtering and tarts and something flounder my radar. The irony is way more thicker than ice. Holy shit. It's just this guy, basically. So, this guy, V4ER, I don't know how you pronounce it, but he made this video. I reacted to it last stream, where he basically just says Blue Archive fans are pedos while going through the Blue Archive subreddit. And he made a response video responding to the people on Twitter and stuff. So, I might actually, respond to... I've been thinking about responding to this video. But there's also some other Blue Archive stuff. Like, I was gonna do this, this character sorter and, this personality quiz and see what happens there. But actually, since we're talking about this, I'm gonna make the goal, because I don't really want to talk about the video, because I think he's just doing this for attention, okay? He knows that this is gonna drum up controversy, and it's gonna get him views, alright? Because, you know, this video, because before this, he was just doing this, like, predator catching stuff in VR chat, you know? And now he got 18,000 views, so he's a big boy. Alright, so... I'm gonna click on this. And we got a busy day, so I don't want to get too wrapped up in this crap either. So I'm gonna add in the goal here. I'm gonna do $2. And then... I'll watch... Blue Archive fans hate me. Okay, so we'll make it a goal. And I wish you could do 90 minutes. But... Actually, whatever. I'll just do 2 hours. And that should be fine. So start it. Okay, there we go. So we got the goal now. Oh, found it. Okay. Nice. Anyway, so we got the goal in case we decide to look at that. But the main focus for today is the frickin' Anita Sarkeesian video. So that's going to be pretty gargantuan. Found the title of the video. Thanks. I could take a look at least. Anyways, actually for this next part, I'm gonna censor just to be safe for this next part, okay? So you have this guy here. This was in the middle of, like, you know, one of these one of these lolly debates, and he says fictional children, and then he posts a hentai lolly dojin, okay? And this is sort of what's really suspect about these people, because they consider this stuff CP. But then he takes a picture of it, saves it to his phone, then uploads it to Twitter. Okay, so that's, if he considers it CP, that's possession and distribution of CP. And then, you know, also, the dojin he shares, this isn't some super popular one, or a dojin that just came out. It's not like he went to Hentai and just grabbed the one at the top. This is a fairly obscure one. Alright? Which seems to imply that he has, what are they saying? He knows ball? He's got some inside information, let's say. It's quite suspicious. Alright? That he's bringing up these, you know, niche dojins. You know, for some reason. Man. You know, based? Maybe so, man. Man, the whole thing is that the thing with the antis is that they're all either secret pedos or they're secret lolicons. At least he got his taste. Man, I'm gonna have to... Shit. Man, maybe we... Maybe we'll do this next stream. Maybe we'll read it on stream or something. I've always wanted to do Dojin reviews on the channel. It's just kind of, I don't know, as far as, like, the terms of service goes, it's like a complete minefield, right? I don't know, maybe I could make it, like, member only or something, or I guess I could always put it on, like, Rumble or Odyssey or something, but it would be fun to do a Dojin review. That would be funny. Anyways, though, yeah, so that's one thing. What else? Actually, we should delete all this crap. I don't have to. Oh, yeah, Moe Front. The only way to move forward. Let go of the frustration of your past. The future is our new ideal. Or shit, let me get rid of that. Censor. I gotta make a whole segment on these guys eventually, but these guys have made a political movement based on anime, and I think it's all just a joke, but it's pretty funny, not gonna lie. Yeah, here's their Twitter page. They've got their own flag and everything. Anyways, we're gonna get to the first thing, the CDawgVA drama, Chibi cover. I never watched Chibi's video, but he did cover it here. Yeah, so here it is.
Modern, younger people and audiences, older people too, have been like, they're like, not brainwashed, but like fucking coached into like seeing things that are problematic and thinking like, what is this?
Yeah.
This is not a reflection of me or my character. It's like, bro, you played a game. It's like, if I played Sino Uta, doesn't mean I'm a fan. I'm a #1 like stan of Uta. I love everything about it. It's like,
Yeah.
I experienced the story that was on offer.
Yeah.
And I think people are afraid to jump or be seen playing games like this because they're like, you're. It's like, bro, that is not even remotely close to the truth. And when you boil down conversations like that of discussing media like this, you are absolutely robbing any nuance in any way to discuss these things.
Yeah, so this is from CDawgVA calling out the puritanical the puritanical tourists. Okay? And it's like, I mean, based, but what the fuck are you talking about, bro? You're one of the worst tourists out there. Like, I think someone had I don't know, oh no, it's on the different post. Alright, so it's like, okay, obviously I agree. But you're a part of the problem, bro. You know, here's from Emerald Apple. The person who is scared of problematic media is him. Can't take CDawg seriously when he had a visceral reaction to a Sagiri figure unboxing on a podcast, basically saying, what the fuck is that multiple times? Clearly disturbed by the age implications of the character. If he himself has that kind of strong negative reaction to a classic lolly character, then he's demonstrating the exact discomfort and problematic media that people are scared of. He really isn't some sort of based enjoyer of problematic content when he crashes out over mainstream lolly stuff in a loose vein, as Mushoku Tensei also has problematic framing with age implications. Yeah. Anyways, actually, here, let's look at this. And it gets even crazier since this is Trash Taste, and they have a Shiro figure there, they have a Senko figure there, they have a Megumin figure there. Okay, these are all lolly characters, okay? And I mean, I guess Senko is a bit more wholesome, but I mean, Shiro and Megumin are pretty sexualized anyways. Pretty interesting. Where is this energy for Blue Archive? Yep, only calling it out since Mouse got into hot waters. Is there mouse drama over this shit? Oh my god, bro. Go figure. I mean, Trash Taste stay true to their name. You can't knock them for that.
I can judge.
What the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, that I shout out Eromanga Sensei just for Gaunt. Everybody, round of applause.
Well done, Joey. Well done. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Joey.
Are we going to prison?
Even though
Oh man, they got the FBI jokes
I saw
already.
about 10 Eromanga Sensei figures along the way.
Why is there so many?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's popular enough, I guess. It's actually not too bad, to be honest with you. I'm not exactly a fan of Eromanga Sensei, but this is actually a pretty solid
I think you'd have the FBI knocking if you said you were.
Well, I mean...
Bro, shouldn't the FBI be knocking over the Megumin figure?
Once... I'm okay not seeing the figure, you know?
You sure?
There's like a child's playmat there. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'll bring it out. I'll bring it out, don't worry.
The fuck is that?
I think it's supposed to symbolize Sagiri's, like, bed, right?
What happens in this anime? Why is it children's stuff?
Because she is a hentai artist.
She's
Right?
yeah. She's
What?
like she's the Eromanga sensei.
She's the
You know, I'm not even gonna lie, Sagiri was like, she was scientifically, mathematically produced to be the ultimate waifu. Okay? Lolly, Emoto, shy, hentai artist, I mean, perfect. Okay? And I mean, look, honestly, like, even if we're talking, like, specific, I mean, like, the step-sibling thing, maybe that was a misstep, but at the same time, now you can get married and have kids, so, I mean, come on. Treats that figure like it's made of plutonium. Yeah, it's like it's radioactive.
Eromanga sensei.
Yeah.
And
She's
the
like 10.
and the brother, I believe, is an Eromanga author, right? He's like,
Yes,
yeah,
he is an author.
How do I remember more of Eromanga sensei than
I
you?
don't know, man.
Bro, she's practically got like the fucking Cars bed, bro. What is that? She's not a hentai
Basically,
artist.
this-
Oh no, what the fuck? What the fuck is that?
All right, and
What the fuck?
and the grand
Wait,
reveal.
what?
Fuck!
A child's playmat.
I mean, how old is Sagiri again in the show?
I have no idea.
Yeah, playing ignorance indeed. You know, Gart still says his favorite fucking show, or one of his favorite shows, is fucking Ora Emo.
Bro!
There you go. There's Sagiri.
No.
Yo, that's not even close to the worst lolly figure out there. Like, not even close. You can't even get a panty shot because she's wearing shorts.
I think this goes. Wait.
Yeah, so this is the guy who's complaining about these anime fans being too puritanical. I mean, look, to be fair, you can say he's playing it up for the camera or something, but, you know, obviously this is a bit more than, like, just a joke, you know? Man, people would give JoJo a pass, but never anything else, yeah. Bruh.
I can
Playing
judge.
ignorance. The thing is that Gart, you know, Giguk sold out so fucking hard because he has said before that he loves, you know, trash anime, as he calls it. If you go back and watch his Eromanga Sensei video, it's dressed up in like 1,000 layers of irony, but the entire, you know, the thesis of the whole video is that you should just like anime. All right, you should. Eromanga Sensei is good because of the lolly incest fan service. That's the thesis of his video on it. All right, Gart loves this shit, even though he's really tried to distance himself from it. And, you know, Joey's a bit more of a special. I don't think Joey's as bad, but I kind of understand it because he's British, because it's actually illegal over there, but his ass has lived in Japan for, like, what, a decade? Fuck, it's probably been at least 5 years. Yeah, it's definitely been a while, but I don't know, it's kind of, look, it's kind of dumb, but yeah, so people were calling him out on this. Chibi reviews, so we watched the Chibi reviews clip. We'll watch a little bit.
This clip is currently going viral right now in the anime and manga community, and a lot of people are having animosity towards this clip, anger, people discussing censorship, people discussing why anime and manga is being
Man, is Chibi gonna run cover?
advocated to be banned, and people also talking about how there's been a rise of people saying that fiction is very problematic. So let's play this clip, and then let's discuss why people are actually upset with it.
He switched, yeah, he did. He actually is in a whole new house now because his old house got doxxed.
Younger people and audiences, well, older people too, have been like, they're like
Let's see,
brainwashed, but like fucking coached into like seeing things that are problematic and thinking like, what is this?
Yeah.
Before I... You know what, I'm gonna say something, but I'll wait till the clip is played before I actually say my piece here, because I think it's very important, the entire context.
This is not a reflection of me and my character. It's like, bro, you play a game. It's like, if I play Sino Uta, doesn't mean I'm a fan. I'm number one like stan of Uta. I love everything about it. It's like,
Yeah.
And the thing is that, the thing that he doesn't really understand, and this is the thing, is that, you know, the argument that the people who complain about this stuff say is that it's like, you know, it doesn't matter that it's fiction. You know, fiction equals reality. So, you know, lolly hentai doesn't matter that it's fiction. It's like literally CP or it makes you a pedo or whatever, right? So, which is why I say there can't really be a middle ground on this, because it's like, you know, either you accept that fiction is fiction, or, you know, you just go fucking full censorship mode.
For those that don't know, Sai no Uta is a visual novel game. It's good. It's really good, but there's a lot of screwed up stuff in it. Like, if you have ever played Sai no Uta, which I played it back
Yeah, fiction equals reality undermines the entire point of art, indeed.
back in like 2011. It's been a long time. Okay, I don't remember every single detail of it, but there is a lot of dark content within Sai no Uta, and there's a lot of things that you're just not going to straight up agree with. But at the same time, it's a very thought-provoking story. And I think what Connor is trying to say here is just because if you like, let's say, the game of Sai no Uta and you play the game, doesn't necessarily mean you agree with every single thing that happens within it, even if you're a mega fan of it. But let's continue the clip.
You know, that's true. Well, that's true too.
Yeah,
but...
I think people are afraid to jump or be seen playing games like this because they're like, you're. It's like, bro, that is not even remotely close to the truth. And when you boil down conversations like that of discussing media like this, you are absolutely robbing any nuance, any way to discuss these things.
So that is the clip that's going viral right now. And the reason why, if you haven't caught on, is because for one, this conversation very much is probably one of the biggest conversations for anime, manga, and light novels and gaming in the 2020s. And I think everybody at this point has seen the radical shift in terms of like just how different these communities are in comparison to what they were prior to COVID. And I've briefly touched upon this in the past, and I feel like it's time I really sit down and do
briefly touched upon it. Has he? I mean, how much has Chibi weighed in on the tourist stuff? I feel like he's done it a fair bit, but I kind of wonder now. Since I love Metal Gear Rising, I'm a danger because you chop people up in that game. Look, that's the thing, right? Because, I mean, how many video games glorify violence, right?
Do a full-blown dedicated video to really discussing actually who is causing these problems and everything. But the reason why this clip is going viral, and also why people are upset that Connor from Trash Taste is the one saying this, is because of this clip that has become very viral as well over the years and constantly reappears here and there, and it's basically Connor's reaction to a figure, an anime figure. And I'm gonna play the clip. I'll let you see it. I'm just gonna, let you see what Connor says and how he reacts to an anime figure, fictional content.
It's still so funny how he makes such a big deal over the Sagiri figure when they have multiple lolly figures in the background. Like, what the fuck, bro? He's done it a fair bit, just very lukewarm on the topic. Yeah, I'm sure.
And then this is being compared to his new statement, and people are calling out the hypocrisy. But let me just...
I can judge.
What the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, that I shout out Eromanga Sensei, just for gone. Everybody, round of applause. Well done, Joey. Well done. I'm proud of you. Proud of you, Joey.
We got a prison?
Even though I saw about 10 Eromanga Sensei figures along the way.
Why is there so many?
I don't know. I don't know. It's popular enough, I guess. It's actually not too bad, to be honest with you.
Man, we were robbed of Season 2 of Eromanga Sensei. We were... Oh, man. At Season 2 of Eromanga Sensei, it was promised to me 2,000 years ago. Alright, my... Sagiri herself came down from heaven in angel form and promised me Season 2. Promised it to my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather.
With you. I'm not exactly a fan of Eromanga Sensei, but this is actually pretty solid.
I think you'd have the FBI knocking if you said you were.
Well, I mean, gosh,
calling out within this clip. So, I think you understand. The very person that Connor is calling out within this clip that is now going viral is basically himself. Now, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Man, how do they go to Akihabara and not get offended? Now, that's a good question. You know, actually, I saw online, apparently they have, Shun swimsuit, they got Shun swimsuit billboards in Akihabara right now, which is Giga-based. These guys are on an endless stream of content at this point. How good was it, though? I hadn't watched it. Eromanga Sensei, I mean, I really like it. If you're expecting some deep characterization and some crazy plot, you're not going to get it, but it's really funny. It's got great fan service. Characters are really cute. You know, definitely worth watching. It's true that Drifters was promised to me 10 years ago. Where is it at Madhouse? Shuni, yes, exactly.
I'm going to be completely blunt here. I don't actively watch Trash Taste continuously. I watch a few things here and there, but it's not a podcast I actively follow. I'm just going to be completely blunt. And to be completely honest here, I do like, for instance, like Joey and stuff on them. I love, Giguk and all that. I love the individuals that are on Trash Taste. I've talked with them in the past. They're pretty good dudes. They've been nice to me. But I also am someone that will not sugarcoat things, and I will be completely blunt about how I feel about stuff. And in this case, Connor, in general, even if at the time period when he made this a few years back, let's say he is just memeing around and he isn't being truthful.
Yeah, actually, one thing I noticed about this, man, Chibi's bookshelf is fucking fully loaded. You guys remember Inekyu? How she would always have, like, 5 mangas in the background and that's it? Man. Eromanga Sensei was a pretty good for a slice of life fan service anime. The only problem is that they aren't blood related, if I remember. Yeah, that's right. And not only are they not blood related, but they actually kind of meet before the series even starts. I think Sagiri even falls in love with the MC before the series even starts. Or, well, before they become siblings. But anyway, it's funny. Trash Taste more than I watch gaming podcasts and tech. What? Only just got here, but want to point out I saw CDawg Made a video about the LADS stuff, but nothing about the male gaze content getting targeted like Snowbreak and Brown Dust too. Yeah, very interesting there. And actually, it's funny, I think I mentioned this before, but CDawgVA, he actually started his career making fan dubs for Black Butler. And the Black Butler author is actually a Shotokan, which is pretty crazy, but can't collect manga now. It takes up so much space. I don't have much of it. Yeah, that's true. It's also really expensive. When I went to Japan, one of the things that shocked me so much was how cheap manga was. Like, you can buy a volume of Spy Family for like $4 or less. And I mean like brand new. I'm pretty sure Spy Family is like 400 yen. Brand new. Alright, which is like 3 USD. Alright, it's crazy. Chibi look more organized than mine's. Yeah, Chibi's books look more organized, yeah. Around Foxes, watch your boxes. Yeah, thank you very much for the $2, Buckley. And damn, yum.
However, his words from a massive voice like him, he's a massive content creator, way more successful than me, his voice echoes out, and there is a lot of people around this time period, especially, that were basically saying the exact same words as he's saying. Any form of content, let's say Uramanga Sensei, Nagatoro, anything that is not mainstream shonen, for instance, like JJK, Chainsaw Man and stuff, or Demon Slayer, it is deemed problematic. And in this case, his very reaction, even if it's being played up for the memes and engagement, it paints a very big picture of he is doing the very thing that he is complaining about in this new viral clip from 2020.
And look, another thing to keep in mind is that, you know, obviously, you know, some of these things are supposed to be jokes. Like the whole FBI open up thing, you know, from like, that was originally started by otakus and lolicons, right? But the whole thing is that it ends up getting co-opted by people who don't think it's a joke. And that's when you start getting problems. Even if Connor always had his current perspective, I mean, him, you know, making those kinds of jokes really lets in unsavory people, let's say. It's funny, Chibi haters finally shut the fuck up now. That's the thing, Shotokan get little to no flack compared to lolicons. Connor's not even going to acknowledge that detail if he knows about it. Yeah, that's another part of it. You know, lolicons get all the heat. Shotokans, absolutely nothing. Or, you know, very little. Makav are pricey. 1,300 just for 27 volumes of one series. Holy shit. Well, that's a lot of dough, man, but... yeah, manga collecting is an expensive hobby as a Westerner. Man.
26. That is now like everybody's talking about, because he is someone that is basically breaking down all nuance and everything, someone that is basically saying fictional content is very problematic and all that, you can't engage with it in any way. And, you know, sure, we might say maybe this is a very different type of conversation because that's a figure and he's just talking about a visual novel, but the point here is that he is boiling down conversations and joy of fictional content and just saying everything is basically problematic media, and, you know, that's what he did in the past, but now he's saying it's a problem, and he doesn't understand why it is a problem. And I'm just like, bro, Connor, man, I have no hate.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like, yeah. You kind of gotta, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you really just do need a hard stance on, you know, the fictional content thing, you know, to really be taken seriously, right? But if I can blame a few people for the tourists getting an anime and moral policing, it's a toss-up between the Trash Taste guys or Mother's Basement. If you're gonna blame a single content creator, I guess the Trash Taste guys are gonna be pretty up on there. I'm not sure how big Mother's Basement would be. I mean, I hate Mother's Basement, but I feel like he's not, even though he gets mad views, or, you know, pretty good views, I'm not sure if he's really the biggest, or the most influential, I mean. Hell, figures are getting expensive now. That's another thing. Figures in Japan are so much cheaper. Like, you know, it's like, you know, the cheapo figures are all like 2,000 yen or less. It's crazy. And then the same figures here, they mark up the price like 2-3 times. It's highway robbery. Blame Digibro as well with his LARPing. Yeah, honestly, Digibro is pretty bad.
Towards you. But you are legitimately, you're talking about yourself. You are. But like, even if we want to disregard that, okay, let's just say that this is not an example that matters, okay? What we do need to point out here is that the real issues and who is actually causing these problems, I'm just going to say this. The real people that are causing these issues are pretty much crazy leftists. The same people that ruined gaming, ruined Western media. And I know that
look, true. You know, the tourist epidemic has gone beyond the leftists, but it's still almost always leftist. It's like 90%. Just don't deal with the moral fagging, yeah. Can't get figures for 400 yen in Japan. Yeah, you actually can't get them that cheap. I got my sister one for 500 yen from like the bargain bin. And it was actually really nice. But yeah, they're like $20. To be fair, it's both left and right now.
This is going to upset a lot of people, but honestly, I don't care. I don't care if it makes people upset and all that. The point is that everybody knows, everybody sees it. It's just people are too scared to actually say it because they feel like they're going to get canceled or they're going to be spammed with hate and slander. And to be honest with you, I get slander and hate all the time, so I don't really care. I really don't. I'm just going to say it like it is because other people are too afraid to say it. The point is that yes, it is crazy left-leaning people that come into the space and want to change things and have a problem with any form of problematic media. Basically, when anime started getting extremely popular in the 2020s, a lot of people from, for instance, the West that really like certain media that's been catering to them for the last decade, they tried to dive in and fundamentally change anime and manga.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what happened almost for, COVID really did ruin everything. I was thinking about that the other day, right? Like, apparently Costco used to have, like, onion machines, and they got rid of them because of COVID, for hot dogs. My God. And then there's, like, so much shit can be traced back to. And, of course, anime tourism, of course. Prize figures are great, yeah. Man, actually, that reminds me. When I did not have very much luck in Japan on the claw machines, I'll say that much. Even the super popular ones like JJK are still way cheaper in Japan than here, yeah. Look at the big figures since I want to be noticed, so I don't have many, or want it to be noticed. COVID made everything more expensive, looking at you GPUs, yes. Click bigger, diorama, yeah, nice.
Know this, I have talked about this in pretty much dozens upon dozens of videos. They are individuals that have come in to basically call anything that is from Japan problematic.
You can still ask for an onion cup for hot dogs for free in Costco. There's just no self-serve onion machine. Well, how many people know you can do that, right? I guarantee way less people are getting onions than they used to, right? I feel like what Connor's saying in the clip is actually that just because you watch something that has problematic aspects doesn't mean you approve of that. Not that it's fine in fiction. I guess that is what he's saying, but the whole thing is that where do you actually draw the line? Because, the people who complain about Lolicon, for example, they say that it's CP or that it might as well be. So, are you actually going to watch something which is CP? Like, how the hell are you going to justify that, right? It's just kind of ridiculous. According to the antis, Tayano Uta is literally CSAM. Or it might as well be. So how exactly you're going to play it and enjoy it despite the problematic elements if the problematic elements are that bad? That's what's happening before COVID. I've been blowing the horn on the leftist influence growing since 10 years ago. Look, COVID exacerbated everything. Expedited it. Costco, I remember my sister give Spicy Noodle a whole box of them. Nice. Purple onions better than other onions. Also, Connor is the guy who had crashed out over Anime Man unboxing a Kirino Kosaka figure on the podcast. I think you're talking about the Sagiri figure. We already covered that, actually. No one wanted to listen because only the dubs were getting affected. Fuck. Man. I should make a whole video on fucking the fall of anime dubs one of these days, because it's so bad. Seriously, some of the dubs we get now, it feels like a bad abridged series. Isn't everything artistic expression justified by their morality, including subversion? I don't know. Oh yeah, Sagiri, thankfully make sure to shake his head every time problematic scenes show up so people know he disapproves of it. It's like, when you had people watching cuties on Netflix and then making excuses for it, like, what the hell are you going on about? Got them confused. COVID was just an excuse to raise prices and receive less criticism. Fuck. No kidding.
Problematic media. It's the truth. It is. Now, I'm not saying that this is just radical leftists or leftists that do this. There is people on the right that I've seen. Radical Christians or radical right-leaning people that do the exact same thing that want pro-censorship. Both sides are inherently an issue. But I'm just saying in terms of the overwhelming, there is one side that does have an overwhelming monopoly of calling everything problematic. And it is definitely those individuals that I've already spoken about. And so here's the thing. It's a lot of people. There's a lot more nuance to this conversation I think that I should talk about. Because obviously I'm boiling
and then creeped into the subs, and now we have those same localizers working on the official Japanese games in Japan. Now that's where it really gets fucked. In fact, normies get offended over school swimsuits. It's common in Slice of Life and Ecchi. It's not new. Are they really freaking out over that? Fuck me, man. The only English voice acting I can get with is the English voice acting in ZZZ. Everything else, it's JP or CN. There's very few, modern English dubs that are actually good.
it down to just people from one political side, but I feel like I need to start from the very beginning on kind of where this happened. And I know, because I've been in the community basically since the early 2000s. Now, obviously, there's people that have decades over me on top of that, but I feel like as someone that has seen kind of the rise of anime over the years, I can definitely put a good origin point, a turning point to where anime fully went mainstream.
Also, bring back Ponsu's scene, hell yeah. To this day, still watch older anime dubs like Rosario Vampire. It's a shocker that the VAs sound like they're actually trying there. That's the thing, older anime dubs are way better. You know, Black Lagoon, Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist, I mean, they're all very solid English dubs. And, you know, I still think it's fine to prefer subs. You know, I say subs are still probably the true way to experience those shows, even if the English dubs are great. But, I mean, you compare it to what we get now, it's night and day. Man, anime dubs were only acceptable up until 2010, exactly. Yeah, FMA Brotherhood was so good. I don't understand why queers get so upset about fictional characters' fan service. The thing is that it mostly has to do with, like, I'm not sure what you would call it. Basically, it's women trying to kneecap their perceived sexual competition. That's my opinion. So women, they see fan service and more broadly pornography as competition, okay? They think that that male attention is being directed away from them and towards, say, you know, fan service or just any lewd stuff in general, okay? That's what they actually think is happening, but they can't just say that outright. So they come up with all these excuses, okay? Like, oh, it objectifies women, or it's sexist, or something, but it's all just justification because they're just jealous of anime girls. That's the truth of the matter. First experience with the old anime community. With FB old anime. Oh, Facebook, bro. That's crazy. Where as soon as Vic was fired, it all went downhill. Interesting,
and
right?
That was 100% Demon Slayer. Now, anime was already rising in popularity thanks to SAO and Attack on Titan. I'm not going to act like it wasn't, but it didn't really like hit a massive, overwhelming mainstream audience until Demon Slayer exploded all over the internet. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, Facebook. It was everywhere. I remember the day it happened. It was trending and it was very new and brand new for.
He's like, where were you when Demon Slayer blew up in the West? It's funny. I think I've said this before. I don't even like Demon Slayer, and I really gave it a shot. I watched like 10 episodes, and that shit sucks ass, man. Alright, so I've just been ignoring the entire series for as long as it's been popular. Imagine being so low in self-esteem thinking removing fan service. I'd say dubs are better than VA variety, but the scripts are far worse. Old dubs had bad VA variety, but better scripts with some exceptions. The whole thing, I don't know, maybe they have more anime voice actors, but I mean, the whole meme about there only being 10 anime VAs was at least used to be true. I don't know, maybe there's more variety now, but I kind of doubt it. Keep in mind, I used Facebook then, Twitter before Facebook. Yeah, I see, agree. Localization that makes it even worse. Got bored Demon Slayer and Spy a Family. Demon Slayer's kitty shit. Even the Japanese think it's mostly just nice to look at, but no substance. Yeah, many such cases.
An anime to do that. Nowadays, you can see anime trending all the time, but for its time period...
I mean, think about it this way, you know? I guess you could say Demon Slayer's kind of like Japanese Avatar, you know? Not really a massive cultural footprint. Okay, not too much substance, but it looks cool, and people go out in droves to watch the movies. 10 anime VAs because the rest were horrendous. Compared to something like CSM or JJK, Demon Slayer is a masterpiece because it's bland at worst. I think the author could have done more with it, but chose not to. Higurashi VAs from 2006 were so funny. Yeah.
Demon Slayer was something super unique. It trended for days for one specific episode, and that was not normal. It wasn't for that time period at all. And so when it started to trend, it exploded conversation. And then a few months later, COVID hit. And obviously, at this time period, a lot of people that probably heard about Demon Slayer through word of mouth or memes or whatever decided to sit down and watch the show. And obviously, they liked it because it was fundamentally different than everything else that they experienced from Western media. Go figure. But the thing here is that a lot of people that would have never engaged with, for instance, anime or manga, it finally engaged with anime and manga. Now, I'm not saying every individual that came into the community was bad actors that want to change everything and label everything problematic. However, there is a lot of people that, for instance, are more or less...
Actually, it's kind of funny how he's giving like this whole history lesson. Because I guess Demon Slayer was sort of, at least one of the big breakout ones for the COVID boom. Still think CSM and JJK were more interesting to go back to than DS. Yeah, Naruto Shippuden got me watching Japanese dub and pirate site and MS. Despite also being shallow, they still looked interesting and had some fun ideas and fights. Demon Slayer is pretty forgettable, IMO. Yeah.
The bullies that used to bully you for anime, someone that would throw you in the locker if you would have mentioned that you like Dragon Ball in the early 2000s, those individuals decided to jump into the anime community, and they are now within the anime community, infiltrating it like parasites, and basically they will only accept the mainstream, and anything beyond that is problematic media. They will think anything needs to be basically, you need to be bullied and beat down if you like anything that's outside of like JJK, Chainsaw Man, and Demon Slayer. For instance, if you like something like that is considered technically normie anime, Food Wars and Nagatoro, you are problematic. You are a weirdo that needs to be gelled. Even Arrow Manga Sensei, that, you know, we saw Connor's reaction to, Arrow Manga Sensei is normie. It is really, really freaking normie. Like, in the 2010s, everybody would agree with me that Arrow Manga Sensei is an extremely normie series.
Honestly, I'd say he's kind of right, actually. The thing that you have to keep in mind with the whole tourist thing is that, it's sort of a bit of a culture clash. I don't know. I always wanted to make a video about this, but the thing that you have to keep in mind is that, you know, in Japan, for example, the entire anime fandom, I guess anime watchers, the entire population of anime watchers, it's like 20% otaku, 80% casual. You know, so otaku's the hardcore people, and then casuals who just watch, like, One Piece or Demon Slayer or whatever, right? And, you know, so, but the thing is that in Japan, these sort of two groups kind of just exist in parallel, you know? I mean, there's some minor conflicts, but there's not really anything. It's not like they're in constant warfare, like in the West, okay? But the whole thing is that, you know, in the West, the anime fandom was always overwhelmingly otaku, you know? And that's just sort of how it, you know, that's just sort of because of how it was sort of, you know, how it was sort of brought to the West, sort of the infrastructure that existed, let's say. All right. However, over time, you know, as the internet advanced, you know, anime began to spread to more and more people. And, you know, eventually, you know, it goes from almost entirely otaku to then more and more casuals, then 50-50, and then you get to the COVID boom, and now it's like how it is in Japan, like 20% otaku, 80% casual. But the thing that's different is that, you know, Western anime fans, you know, built these communities around, you know, around them being otakus, basically, right? And then also to go even further, you know, a lot of these Western fans are very puritanical, they're pearl clutchers. So now they have a problem with all these otaku elements, which, by the way, in Japan, you know, casual anime fans don't give a fuck about otaku shit, okay? They do not really care about lollies or whatever you have a problem with, okay? However, in the West, it's different. They got a problem with all that stuff, and it's led to a lot of conflict. Anyway, still, so... Man, where was I? People love CSM, but no one ever talks about Fire Punch. Also, modern anime community treated shipping very serious back then. No one cares. I like to show what you like. Pretty Cure's fan base in Japan is old men and adult women, and nobody cares. But everything in the West has to be put into normie versus niche, like always, really tiring. Otaku over normies. But yeah, that's the whole thing. It's really like a culture clash, right? And I don't know. There isn't really a good way to fix it. And another thing is that, yeah, the whole thing is that the infrastructure in the West was never really made for, you know, casuals, normies in mind. You know, a platform like Crunchyroll, even though it is mostly used by casuals and is marketed towards casuals, it's designed for otakus, okay? Because who wants to watch, you know, every anime of a season an hour after it airs in Japan? You know, it's the otakus. And even if you look at their library, I mean, they have a lot of otaku shows, right? And I mean, they go out of their way to even add, like, stuff like Maburaho. You know, that's a recent addition, I believe. I mean, what casual wants to watch Maburaho, right? But otaku certainly do, so they spend resources on that. But, you know, so I think it would have been way better if sort of, if casuals stuck to Netflix and then Netflix only published, like, the mainstream stuff, and then Crunchyroll, you know, kept with the otaku audience. I mean, a split like that would have been ideal. Of course, it never really happened. But, you know, it's kind of too late now. I imagine Japan just has less issues with culture war. It's super homogenous over there. And look, Japan just sort of has a different idea. Like, Japan is very orderly. you know, and it's very conformist, but I guess there's this idea of that people's personal lives are their personal lives, right? Like, you know, don't wear your frickin', you know, don't wear your Sailor Moon t-shirt to the office, but, you know, you can go and do, you know, go ahead and, you know, do whatever otaku stuff you want in your free time, right? That's why they usually have bright-colored hair. That's where they differentiate them. Also, it's way less common to air out criticism like it is here in the West, so the Japanese pretty much just enjoy what they enjoy and let people have their own tastes. Yeah, speaking of Crunchyroll, restricted their store. It seems like Sony influencing them. Yeah, I saw that. Apparently, Crunchyroll is, like, going bankrupt. I don't know fucking how. They have a fucking monopoly on anime streaming, basically. How are you going bankrupt, bro? Maburaho is quite a fit. That's good. One thing I can say about Crunchyroll is that it doesn't have just normie-approved anime. And that's the thing that's so weird about it, right? Because, like I said, it's marketed towards and used by casuals, but it's designed for otakus. That's why you get such a bad clash, because you have casuals using the infrastructure designed for otakus. And, you know, mix that with just sort of Western Puritanism, and its problems are just inevitable. They enjoy until that's why they all wear uniforms with slight difference. Westerners are obsessed with puritanically determining what's good and what's bad. Basically a bunch of annoying Hallmarter, Redditor types, yeah. That's why all there were similar uniforms. Sony proving my point, they're evil as fuck, yeah.
It's nothing revolutionary, it's nothing too extreme or anything like that, but apparently in this day and age, in the 2020s, something like that is considered very, very extreme. So what I'm saying is that a lot of people, a lot of bullies and stuff, got into the media, and they started to basically LARP as anime fans. That's pretty much what it is. So yeah, I feel like the reason why we have that, there's a lot of sensitive...
Yeah, this is so true when you see, like, these, you know, e-girls masquerading as VTubers, I fucking swear.
People that like to have everything sanitized and boiled down because it's just too problematic for them, and it's those same people that ruined gaming in Western media. So my camera just died, but I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching my content. May all of you be safe, stay healthy, and I love you guys.
So that's the Chibi video talking about it. It's pretty good. But yeah, so the CDawgVA thing. Okay, what would be a good, what is it? It's like the... Man, he's getting devoured by the beast he created or something. Getting crushed by the golem he built. The fact the bullies make fun of me off-key thinking of anime ED. That's funny. The only way to enjoy media nowadays is by basically consuming it without any outside influence. Yeah. Don't interact with the fandoms. Honestly, there's no even point, man. You know, Twitter is so... I actually fucking hate Twitter. You know, it's a dog shit site. But I'm kind of forced to use it purely just to, you know, just to stay, you know, up to date with stuff. It's so grim when VTubers act and talk like the kind of girl who would bully you in high school. Fuck. The whole thing is that they are the kind of girls who would bully you in high school. You know... They're just grifting. The business model is unsustainable for CR with piracy, and the anime producers souring on doing business with them. See the Toho Dandadan debacle. I disagree. Look, I think the piracy thing is pretty negligible. And I mean, even then, it's like... I mean, Crunchyroll keeps cutting shows, so... There's always going to be a market for piracy, because there's shows people want to watch, and if Crunchyroll doesn't host them, then people are going to look for them elsewhere. And, you know, even then, look, the whole thing is Steam gets along fine without, you know, with piracy sites. You know, the solution is just to offer a better service, and Crunchyroll's service is definitely not the best. I enjoy isolating myself to anime without communities. For being so popular with normies, CSM is kind of crypto-based. The whole message is don't trust women. LMFAO. That's the ironic thing, actually, about that show. Online short-form social media is so corrosive. You can't enjoy fan service without having people in the comments virtue signal they're underage and call you a PDF. It reminds me of fucking when 7th Prince first aired on Crunchyroll. This is back when they had comments. But all the comments was saying that it's like Diddy-ass blood pedo shit because of Lloyd. It's just so fucking tiring. They are making me go back to pirating. Thanks, Sony. Fuck, yeah. I guess that's, I don't know. I don't have anything else with them right now. What the hell was this? Oh, it's some, like, mass immigration thing. Actually, I'm gonna start with the Big Joel video here. Anita Sarkeesian and the people who hate her And then if we have time afterwards, I'll talk about some other random shit. Like, I have some women clips here. Apparently, there's this story about how, like, a looks maxer died because he was, like, became obsessed with, like, alchemical ideas or something. It's fucking crazy. I was gonna talk about the Catholic Church a bit. Oh, yeah, I still haven't talked about the fucking physical disc thing. About how Sony's discontinuing it, and then there's Blue Archive stuff. Oh my god, there's the fucking ASMR of the 43-year-old woman pretending to be a Mesugaki. That shit's hilarious. Producers souring the CR is the bigger reason, since they won't want to work with them in the future. I've heard about that. I don't know too much about like the drama. I think that anime studios are like want bigger royalties or something, which is really squeezing CR. And that makes sense because, I mean, look, streaming in general is kind of unsustainable. But, you know, we'll see what happens there. CSM is only acceptable because its horniness is directed solely at boring hags. If Denji went after Nayuta, Fujimoto would spend the rest of his life fighting off assassins. Fuck. Anyway, let's get started on this video. So this shit's from 7 years ago. Man, this is going to be a blast from the past. Is there any old schoolers here who remember, like, the good old days of Gamergate? You guys remember Thunderfoot and Sargon of Akkad? Sargon's still around, but Thunderfoot, he went off the deep end, I think. No one really talks about him anymore. I don't know, what else do we got? Okay, I think this is gonna be cut. Let's get to quit. Fuck me, man. We'll do 1.25 to start, and then we'll speed it up.
Today, I'm going to talk about Anita Sarkeesian, a feminist game critic who became incredibly famous on the internet around...
First of all, look at those dark circles. Like, oh my god. Man is tired. Man is that's the kind of tired that sleep just can't fix, okay? Like, damn. You know, actually, this guy just in general... You know, this guy actually does look like a homeless crackhead. The only thing that's stopping it is the sweater. Man, Steve Shy, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
2012. So, Anita Sarkeesian is, without a doubt, one of the most divisive figures I can think of, at least within a very specific cultural context. To the skeptics and...
The thing is that, is she really that divisive? The whole thing is leftists were always a loud minority, right? So pretty much everybody didn't like Anita Sarkeesian. Like, if we're talking actual gamers, everybody hated Anita Sarkeesian. Alright? It's just that Anita Sarkeesian was propped up by a loud minority, and particularly by the establishment itself. Apparently Thunderfoot hates Elon, like really hates Elon. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard about some of it. Yeah, I feel like if Power had more fan service scenes, CSM would be way more hated, I'm sure, actually. Kind of tired you keep for the rest of your life. Because she's more of a stereotypical shonen female lead, but yeah, CSM waifus are mostly crap. Based.
Anti-SJWs, she's seen in all ways as a force for bad. A dishonest critic, an opportunist, a scam artist, an ideologue, a huge dick.
And they say everyone hates you because you're a dick.
To what I'll call the internet left, however, she was broadly understood as an all-around decent critic, who was unfairly maligned, harassed, and abused because she was a woman who spoke about feminism and about her unfair...
She was a woman. You know, they always frame it in the same way, like we're attacking these people just because they're women. If a guy did the same, if a guy made tropes versus women in video games, okay, that guy probably would have gotten even more hate, you know, from our side, you know? Because let's be real here, even the base chuds are still, you know, many of them are still simps at heart, let's be real here, especially like Sargon, okay?
Treatment on the internet. Now, I feel like I'm coming off right now like I'm a weird internet reasonable man, and that's really not how I feel. That is, I side firmly with the internet left on this issue.
Yeah, there it is. So this dude thinks video games are all sexist and need to be censored. Fuck me, man.
I genuinely like Anita Sarkeesian. I agree with...
How? That's the real question. She's not even likable.
lots of her points and thought she was pretty cool before I knew she was somebody who everybody hated.
This shit is like peak millennial. Oh, she was pretty cool. Soy. Yo, this guy doesn't just drink Soylent, okay? He owns the Soylent factory, okay? And all production is purely for himself. Alright, gotta go. I gotta work bright and early. Thank you for joining the stream, Sparko. See you around. It's not our fault every woman that becomes popular wants to take away the things we like. Real. This sweater guy Israeli? I mean, he actually might be. See you later, bud. Lol. We gotta do the deep dive. He actually still makes videos, and he actually gets crazy good views. Like 800,000, 800,000, 1.2 million, 1.3 million. Yeah, he made a video on Nick Fuentes. I'm not sure I don't know where you'd find his name. Maybe on his Twitter? I'm curious. You gotta do the last name check. I don't see anything. I don't really care that much anyway, but who knows? Bro, he is no soul. Holy shit, he is legitimately a golem. You know, unironically, yeah. They go to college to post these lame consensus soy takes on the internet like you need a higher education to post these room level takes. Shut it down, stop looking. Fuck.
Even if I didn't like her, though, I still wouldn't think she deserved the ire of the public. You know, threats and harassment from people who hated every fiber of her being.
You know, threats and harassment, that's another thing. They always greatly exaggerated the so-called threats and harassment. Anita Sarkeesian would act like her life is under threat because some guy on Twitter told her to kill herself. That was basically the extent of the threats and harassment, is a couple rogues on Twitter. And, you know, keep in mind, she effectively declared war on the entire gaming industry and all gamers, and that's that sounds like hyperbole, but it's really not.
As an internet person myself, I've probably tasted less than 1% of the shit she has, and honestly, even that much is enough to send fear right through my whole bod.
Fucking hell! Bro.
So, why am I bringing up all
God.
this stuff so early? It's because none of that stuff is really what I'm here to talk about. This video isn't about condemning the people who hated on or harassed Sarkeesian, nor is it a defense of her work. I mean, don't get me wrong, lots of the stuff I say here will be related to both of those things, but they're not really the point.
Man, this is the thing. You know, these leftists, they sometimes try and play this game where they're like, oh, they try and take like the middle ground when they obviously have a bias, so they come and like, oh, I'm just curious, I'm just asking questions. Like Enoq did this, okay? When she was talking about the Joey the Anime Man thing. She's like, oh, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that cosplayer girl, but... And it's like, okay. Like, we know you agree with her. Or, I don't know how she worded it, but it's fucking so... It's... I don't know, it's pretty dishonest. Male feminist editing. He looks like that schizo the Joker hires to shoot the mayor.
No, this video is about one thing. It's about the way that art is interpreted and about how it's given meaning.
Oh my god. Okay, this video is worse than I thought. This is gonna be some postmodernist slop about, like, death of the author, and, you know, everything is, like, feminist because of something. What the fuck? Why does it always have to be this shit? I can't stand how these people talk like they're in a movie, the dramatic way they talk, the tone they use, like they're trying really hard to sell their emotion. Theater kids never grow out of it. Fuck. Say that again.
I'm going to be looking closely at a few people, mostly Thunderfoot and Sargon of Akkad. People who strongly disagreed with Anita Sarkeesian and who made a series of arguments attempting to disprove her work. And my basic position here is that underpinning their work is an understanding of art that is both fundamentally misguided and ultimately pretty harmful.
What? Okay, we're really gonna have... Okay, yeah, this is gonna be a nightmare, bro. This was not... This is the only way they get to feel special. Fuck.
So, if you're ready for some of that, I'm ready for some of this. Me talking to you for like 30 minutes about this stuff. Are you ready? Cool.
No, this is the guy who calls you an incel.
Part 1. What's at stake here? So, over the course of her work, Anita Sarkeesian made her fair share of videos about games, and she covered a pretty wide variety of topics. But looking at her work altogether, we can see that it tends to revolve around two simple points that were both incredibly controversial on YouTube.
Movies are very overrated and should be considered slop entertainment like most television. Case in point, why they're as good as people claim as movie reviewers and cinephiles, literal IRL Redditors. Honestly, kind of true. Not even gonna lie. You know, Oscar slop is like the absolute peak of that. Big Joel, the popular video essayist on YouTube, is known by his first name Henry. Generally keeps his last name private. He occasionally goes by Henry and has not publicly shared his last name. Ooh. Very interesting. Wow. This guy's an example of the performative male meme trope. Actually, he is. The performative male, it was like a... The whole thing is that the male feminist ally was like a precursor, and that's exactly what he is. Speed. Why is everything harmful with these people? Are they made of glass and paper? Yes. Henry Finkelstein. Not far off, I'm sure.
And we're going to be spending, like, this entire video going through these points and seeing how people reacted to them. So here's the first big argument that Anita Sarkeesian wants to make. That looking at games, we can see a general tendency toward centralizing narratives of male and particularly straight male empowerment.
And you know, I'll say that's true. And you want to know why? Because it's mostly straight men who play video games, you know? That's like saying that, you know, women's romance novels focus on straight women. Like, no shit, Sherlock. And I don't know, honestly, I don't even remember the arguments that, like, Sargon made about this, but I mean, that's just what happens. Straight men play video games, especially, you know, action games, you know, big, you know, the popular ones, right? Of course, there's games for girls, right? Like, girls really like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley or Candy Crush. Or, you know, I think a lot of girls play, like, fantasy MMOs, weirdly enough. But look, majority of gamers are straight men, so the actual games themselves are going to reflect that. Was there a reason for people to hide their nationality back then?
What's more, that this narrative tends to place the women of video games into some pretty weird positions. Women are less likely to be the protagonists of games. They're more likely to be presented as sexually appealing, to have their bodies put on display.
Because as previously discussed, video games are made for straight men because straight men play video games and straight men like sexy women. Okay, so unless you're going to say that it's inherently immoral for men to find women attractive, then, like, what exactly you're talking about here? Let's make a Goonette's Bizarre Adventure dark romance furry vampire novel about camaraderie and honor in battle. Shit. Man, that'd be funny. You know, I always had the idea, actually, to write, like, women's romance novels that are just, like, dressed up as propaganda. Like, I start with, like, the furry werewolf sex slave, but then, like, the message is, like, about being a trad wife or something. You think that would work? Do you think we could psyop these goonettes into becoming trad wives? Or, you know, whatever. Majority of the Earth's population is straight. I don't get why they're so surprised that media is straight men portrayed as the majority. Yeah. In a game, an ugly guy can work because it's either a funny joke or fitting of a villain. Never a situation in which an ugly girl in a game has its appeal. Well, you can have an ugly girl in a game and have it as a joke. Like, Persona 4 is probably the best example, but yeah, I get what you mean.
They're more likely to take on passive or victimized positions, as damsels there to be rescued by predominantly male heroes.
Yeah, and he's bringing up and this is Donkey Kong 1981. And, you know, fuck, whatever.
You know, things like that. The basic idea is that within many games, women are used as a prop, so that the mostly straight male audience can fantasize about attaining various forms of power.
Well, look, the thing you have to consider is that the male character is as much of a prop as the female. All right? If we're talking early video games, the story exists, but it's not at all important. It was always tacked on, all right? And the thing is that the male characters in these games, I mean, you could say they're self-inserts, I guess. but there really is no actual story there, okay? The male character is a blank slate with little to no personality, just like how the female damsel has almost no personality either. Because they exist to serve very specific roles, okay? Like, this is, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. His name is Sir Arthur, right? And then that's Princess Prin, and I think the villain's just called Satan. So Sir Arthur, he exists to be the protagonist, to be the player character. That's it. That's his only purpose. And Prin only exists to be the, well, then Satan exists to be the threat, right? He's the villain, and then Prin is, the objective, or, the goal. So the story is about saving the princess, but really that's just supposed to add context to the gameplay. But what I'm saying here is that it's all very shallow, okay? None of the characters here are well developed, and they all exist for a utilitarian reason.
Now, the vast majority
Lol, yeah, we gotta counter-infiltrate.
of Anita Sarkeesian's work is spent giving examples to support this position. And not being an expert in games myself, I can't really go through her work fact-checking each and every one of those examples.
Not being into games? Then why are you even talking about this at all? You're obviously not qualified. Prop, that sounds like projection to me. I never once thought of a fictional female character as a prop, although all fictional characters are technically props. That's the thing. If you want to be objective with it, then yeah, they all are props in the sense that they exist to serve the gameplay and the very, very basic story. But I mean, look, a lot of these damsel in distress characters people love. People absolutely, people love Peach, people love, Zelda. They go far beyond just being, a sexual object, right? Kai, which modern shonen has the best waifus in your opinion? Kind of going with this topic, but shonen waifus have sucked for a while now. I barely watch shonen because I don't really like it that much. But I mean, yeah, there's not really very many good ones. I'm gonna say Elusive Samurai. All right, purely for the cunny. All right, I'll say that. Column tries to understand art and imagination. The video.
Besides, that's not really something that interests me anyway. So instead, let's just go through some videos made by Thunderfoot where he tries to argue that everything about Anita Sarkeesian's claim here is ridiculous. In the first moments of the first video Thunderfoot ever made about Anita Sarkeesian, he looks at what she says about the game Double Dragon, and tries to refute it with two pieces of evidence. First, Anita's idea that men are empowered and women disempowered by the story of this game is blatantly wrong, because at the end of the game, the damsel gets to punch the bad guy.
The pattern of presenting women as fundamentally weak, ineffective, or ultimately incapable has larger ramifications beyond the characters themselves, and—
Yeah, that's right. The game that ends with Marion breaking a 20-foot tall, super space-lit man in half like a toothpick by punching him in the balls is apparently—
the pattern of presenting women as fundamentally weak, ineffective—
Second, that this story isn't about male power or female—
So accurately. Fuck. Man, read Chain Soldier manga. I don't think Chain Soldier is shonen. I think it's seinen, but 100% has amazing waifus. All right, Chain Soldier is peak.
Victimization at all. It's about love.
I mean, let me just give you a couple of scenarios here, Anita. Billy's girlfriend gets punched in the stomach and abducted by a gang of thugs. Which of the following options defines their healthier relationship? That he immediately sets out risking his own safety to try and protect his loved ones, or that he decides she's a grown adult and can look after herself?
So, looking at both these bits of evidence, we can see a sort of interesting tendency in them. In a nutshell, it's the refusal to engage with art as something that is fundamental—
Actually, wait. We'll check them out. Thank you for the Rex boys. Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see.
And can look after herself.
So, looking at both these bits of evidence, we can see a sort of interesting tendency in them. In a nutshell, it's the refusal to engage with art as something that is fundamentally different from the real world.
Wait, what? What? Wait.
Like, he approaches the events of Double Dragon as though they really happened.
What? There's no... What? Wait, what? Am I... Look, am I retarded or something? Because that's not what do you mean he didn't, what the fuck are you talking about? Anita Sarkeesian is the one who's doing that. If anything, it's your side. And I mean, if you're talking about the story from a literal sense, then you should talk about what's happening in the whatever. Anyways, thanks for the $2, Buckley. Fun is the most important part. Loot is fun. I think MHA waifus were the last decent ones. Yuzuriha from Jigoku Raku was nice. I like MHA girls, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't really like the art style that much. So they kind of lose a little points there. Is he stupid? Like, what? Okay, let's let him finish.
And given that approach, his arguments against Anita Sarkeesian kind of make sense. The woman who was kidnapped wasn't some passive object who needed saving. Actually, she acted like quite the badass, dealing the final blow against the bad guy. And our protagonist, Jimmy, he's not trying to gain power. His girlfriend was violently taken, and he acted nobly, risked everything to save her.
Well, look, if you're actually examining the story, that's what happened in the story. You know? I mean, that's a valid way to analyze it. And I mean, look, you could go to like a more meta level, you know? But it's not like he's wrong. Yeah, they have weird pony faces, lol, agree. Chain Soldier is so peak, the demons are enemies, or whatever they're called, they're all so peak in design and they're so hot, especially Jakun when they are unmasked. But compared to Makim, or even worse to Monkey, they were okay.
If all these events really happened, they would tell the story of a hero, and of his capable GF who was put into a bad situation, and it would seem...
The whole thing is, I mean, in the game, that is what happened.
Seem almost crude to use words like male power fantasy or female objectification to describe a story as beautiful as that. This argument from Thunderfoot is, of course, ridiculous.
How? What? Okay.
It goes without saying, but games aren't the same as real-life events.
I mean, yeah, but still.
Because what happens in games is a choice...
Monkey is just how I call Maki from JJK. I see. MHA girls, definitely more cutesy and almost pudgy looking, but I think it adds to their charm. Monkey. She looks like she took TRT.
Made by people who wanted the experience of playing to be as fun or pleasurable or interesting as possible. Jimmy's girlfriend didn't need to get beaten up. We didn't need to see her panties as she was taken away.
Okay, well, look. If she got kidnapped, okay, you know, it does happen IRL that there are men who abuse women and kidnap them, you know? So, fuck. Oh my gosh. This guy looks like he has an IV injecting Soylent Green into his veins, screw tubes forcing me to censor. Oh, I see. Into his balls. Okay, that's fine. Anyways, have some shekels, something these golems aren't getting us. Thank you very much, Elias guys. Hell yeah. Based game devs, yeah.
And while it may be somewhat empowering when she punches the bad guy, we can recognize that this action is not central to the game. Over the course of playing, you are
not central to the game when it's the fucking ending.
Always Jimmy, a bro who punches other bros. And your job is to rescue a woman who is entirely passive, and who has no control over what you do in the game. Double Dragon might be a story about heroism in some broad sense, but it's also a male power fantasy.
Okay, and does it matter? You know, the thing is that being a hero is oftentimes a part of the male power fantasy. Men actually like being heroes. You know, like Superman, you know, Batman, or, you know, even James Bond, who skirts the line a bit, maybe. You know, it's all about saving the day, you know? Fuck. You assume he has balls? Maybe he had. Fuck. Man.
It makes you feel good because you get to play as a badass. And part of that fantasy is obviously achieved through violence against and sexualization of a female character. Obviously achieved good because you get to play as a badass. And part of that fantasy is obviously achieved through violence against and sexualization of a female character.
So are you, like, not allowed to portray violence and sex? Even if it's in a negative way, are you not allowed to portray violence against women in a video game? Look, the whole point is it's supposed to be like, oh man, that guy's a real bastard. We gotta go take him down. Fuck.
And we can see a few more examples of this kind of argument popping up in Thunderfoot's videos. Like at one point, Anita wants to say that Mario games are generally male-centered narratives that are structured around women losing agency. But Thunderfoot has this to say.
Holy shit, what? And I mean, that's not even true, but even so, who cares? It's fiction, LMFAO. That's the thing that's funny, okay? So he's complaining about Thunderfoot for being too literal with his interpretation of the story, okay? But then they say all of this fiction is bad because it impacts the real world. So they're criticizing a guy. You know, that's what I mean when it's like it's hypocritical, okay? So, man, whatever. What kind of fiction do these people enjoy? They enjoy androgynous stories about equality and friendship. God, this leftard college language is killing me. This shit is bad. Feminism versus facts.
One problem with the Mario example. Mario, just so we are clear, is an Italian plumber. It really is hard to think of a more underrated, underprivileged, disposable, and instantly forgettable male. Peach, on the other hand, is...
That's actually a good point. That actually is a good point. I mean, Mario actually kind of is like not like a loser, but he's pretty low on like the status scale. Probably loves Steven Universe. Agency, narratives, just talk normally. LMAO. Just saying random words now, generally don't understand the point he's making. He says these stories aren't real and ends it by concluding it's still bad even if it's fake. That's the thing. Alright, so, whatever. The whole thing is Thunderfoot is treating the story like a story, and then, you know, this guy wants to treat the story like... He wants to say that the story, you know, impacts reality. Or he wants to... No. Thunderfoot treats the story like a story. But this guy, Big Joel, he treats the story like it's a political treatise or something. Like it's propaganda produced to influence people. You know? Mario is the short king getting with princesses. That's another thing. He's also very short. Literal manlet shut who works for a low-wage trade job cleaning shit. Fuck.
A princess. Well, no privilege there then. Oh, I'm sorry, did your pop culture critic, feminist, and womanly skills miss that?
And again, if Mario games happened in real life, he'd be correct. We would have to account for Peach's princess privilege and for Mario's blue-collar job. And it would be strange, looking at all that information, to say that Mario is the one with power here. But clearly, this doesn't...
Look, the thing... Yeah, this is the whole thing, like, because he doesn't actually want to examine the story for itself. He wants to sort of try and come up with, like, a reason why it's problematic, you know? Because the whole thing is that in Mario and Peach's relationship, Peach is the one with all the power. The whole reason why Mario saves Peach, it's not because he has ill intentions or he wants to bone her or whatever. You know, it's, you know, purely, you know, it's because, you know, he has a duty to Peach, okay? Because she actually is a very important political figure. And Bowser kidnapping her is actually very dangerous and brings a lot of instability to the kingdom. Man, rather be a chud than a soylent lover. No kidding, man.
Really work. Looking at Mario games, it might be interesting to point out that Peach is of a higher social strata than Mario is. But as far as the game is concerned, this fact never means anything. For the entire game, Peach is a princess in name and dress alone. Her character exists only so that agency can be taken from her.
Look, the whole thing is that what do you mean? She's very... Her being a princess is very important oftentimes, you know? I mean, like, the whole reason why she gets kidnapped. I don't know. Is it ever explained why Bowser's always kidnapping Peach? I don't think in the main games, but... You know, presumably her being a princess has something to do with it. And, you know, like I said, the reason why Peach getting kidnapped is such a problem is because it brings a lot of instability to the Mushroom Kingdom. You know, like, imagine if... You know, like, imagine if fucking, like, King Charles or some shit got kidnapped, right? Like, it would be fucking crazy. The studies that showed boys playing with toys would try to become the character they looked up to, whereas girls would make the dolls look like them. Yeah, I've heard about that too. Dottie had a crush on her. Bowser, probably, I don't know. Look, let's not talk about the Mario canon, okay? Because it's a little complicated. So, bro, Mario barely has a story. What are these subhumans on about, lol? The whole thing is that Mario doesn't actually exist to them, and Peach doesn't actually exist either in the story, okay? Or they don't even really exist as characters who fulfill story roles, okay? They exist as, like, characters who exist as props in the chud fantasy, in the chud sexist fantasy. You know, Mario is just a surrogate for the player purely, and Peach is just a prize to be won, alright? That's how they think about it. But, see, this is the whole thing, you know? He talks about how Thunderfoot and Sargon aren't examining the story properly. He isn't examining the story at all. You know, the way he's looking at it from, like, a, you know, like a very postmodern perspective, you know?
Her, so that the protagonist can save the day and win the lady back. So is this game a story about social structures? Well, maybe. I mean, I kinda like that idea, but no matter what, it's also a story about dudes getting and exerting power, one that's facilitated through women losing power. One final example.
You know, notice how he doesn't say it's about men exerting power over women. Alright, very interesting how he didn't say it that way, because that kind of changes things, you know? Mario never disempowers Peach himself, okay? Therefore, the player never really does it either. It's always done by the third party, you know, usually Bowser. Can you react to just what happened to anime over these years after this? Maybe. This is gonna take a while, and we're already at an hour and a half, so... give me a minute. Let me save your comment. Maybe next time. Or maybe later, we'll see. It's a fucking platform with no deep lore dunce, yeah. So why do women have to constantly have power in fictional stories intended for men? That's another thing. You know, these stories are made for straight guys.
And I'll try to keep this one short, because I know this is getting old. In a video called Women...
And, you know, is Mario even really a power fantasy? I mean, this is a game where you die in fucking, like, two... In Mario for the NES, you die in 2 fucking hits. Is that really a power fantasy? If anything, Mario's actually a really weak character.
As background decoration, Anita Sarkeesian points to this scene as an example of the things we've been talking about.
Sorry, all booked up. Too bad, too, because I would have given a stud like you a free sample.
And Thunderfoot disagrees with her.
Okay, so you've got a prostitute in an M for mature game. Does it really matter? Are we really pearl clutching over including prostitution in 17+ games? They want your fiction longhouse too, Lamau. Eat shrooms to get bigger. Yeah.
By saying this.
Now, for Anita, that's just turning a woman into an object. However, I see a different image in this video game scene. This woman is not only in control, she's the one calling the shots. She's the one making her sexual intentions plain, which personally I think is entirely healthy.
Now, again,
you know, actually, kind of makes sense that Thunderfoot was always like a libtard or whatever when he was saying stuff like that. But I mean, that's kind of true. I mean, I'm assuming she's a prostitute, but I mean, yeah, she actually is she is the protagonist of that scene. You know, she is the one who's active. All right. My power fantasy of stepping on anthropomorphic brown mushrooms. Yeah. Meanwhile, Wario, the Chad that he is, can't even actually die, only be inconvenienced. Where's the Wario animation where he rescues the girl and then throws her to the side to grab the money? Wario knows where it's at. Hello, guys. What's happening? Welcome, T-Kobe. Watching this video called Anita Sarkeesian and the People Who Hate Her. And it's been pretty rough so far. Taking female agency away is just having the woman be positive towards the male character. Yeah, that too. Remember this, chud. It's an unrealistic fantasy for any woman to ever find you sexually attractive in any circumstance. Everything except our bad habits cause bad stuff. Thank you for the $2, Buckley. Much appreciated. Isn't this guy part of the bread tuber sphere? Yes, he is a part of the bread tuber sphere.
If this lady were a real human, Thunderfoot would be right that she was exerting agency here.
Look, the whole thing is that if we're talking about a story, you are supposed to treat the events in the story like they happened in the story. You know? Like, that's just how you examine it. But this is the whole thing. He doesn't really want to talk about the story. He wants to talk about how he thinks the story affects people. Which, I mean, there's a conversation that to be had there. But he's just completely wrong in how it affects people, right?
Women wanting to have sex with hotties is not male-centric. It happens all the time. And for that reason, Thunderfoot can't see any male-centrism here. But no, this isn't the real world. It's a game. And while this character's actions can certainly be read as sexually liberating, and while I wouldn't blame anybody for reading it that way, we also have to acknowledge what this scene does and how it appeals to people. This woman probably doesn't have many other lines in this game. She doesn't—
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, sorry. Oh my god. Man, I hate the game because it allows the chud to have some kind of respite from normie nonsense. Fuck, exactly. Video game. What? So a male character having agency is sexist towards women, but a woman character doing the same doesn't count. Very interesting. Yeah, just not to him. Oh, so now it's a game. Yeah. Yeah.
Seem like a person who has a number of character traits outside of her desire to have sex with the protagonist. She exists to say this line, to be sexual and to only be sexual, to make the player character feel powerful and cool.
Too bad.
See, this is the whole thing. I mean, oh my god, this is so brain numbing, man. So yeah, the male agency doesn't matter to them. Hello. This feels like no matter what you do, he'll find something wrong. There's no way he doesn't know he's doing this. The whole thing is these guys really don't argue in good faith. Unfortunately, it's just the truth, right? And that's the thing, you know, like Anita Sarkeesian said it herself, okay? Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and we have to point it all out, you know? Whenever you meet whatever arbitrary demands they've laid out, okay, they'll just say whatever and then just come up with something new to complain about. It's a never-ending cycle. It's an eternal revolution. Wish he would stop with these Schrodinger's reality arguments. Yeah, exactly.
Too, because I would have given a stud like—
You know, and also, you know, what's wrong with even making the character feel cool? Like, you know, people play games, you know, as an escape from reality. You know, to indulge in a fantasy to have fun.
Like you, a free sample.
So, why have I spent like 5 minutes now discussing one argument from a strange man on the internet? Are these points really deserving of all that
Man, pot calling the kettle black.
attention? Have I said something that surprised you? Well, maybe not. But these positions are going to get interesting when we realize this refusal to engage with obvious and readily apparent interpretations of art, this failure—
Oh my god. This is crazy. Obvious and readily... What did he say? Readily available interpretations of art, and it's literally just his, you know, postmodern, you know, schizo interpretation about how everything is sexist because these games are made for straight men. Man. What is this guy talking about? Video guy, not the streamer. This is about Anita Sarkeesian. If you don't know who she is, she basically started the modern dissident right movement by saying video games were sexist. Alright, this is pretty old school stuff, man. Ancient history. Called critical theory, widely used Marxist tactic to subvert culture and destroy its value. Yeah, there's a thing called calling the fuck away and letting the people enjoy it.
to understand that we can interpret games differently from real life. This isn't some bad outlier in a sea of more coherent arguments. Rather, it's the main idea that these people rely on. It's what they're trying to sell us. Part 2.
Oh man, you mean they're whatever, this is getting even dumber.
What's really at stake here?
The entire video game industry. And as we can see now, okay, all the chuds, Thunderfoot, and Sargon were right, considering the video game industry has gone to shit, and is on the brink of total fucking collapse. If GTA 6 doesn't sell 6 gorillion copies, it's basically over. Man.
Okay, that's the first main position that Anita Sarkeesian wants to make. That games have a tendency toward centralizing male narratives, and toward using women as either props or afterthoughts in those narratives. So here's her second and much more important position. That games being like that, that's a problem. Anita isn't
That's a problem.
just here to make a bunch of neutral statements about what video games are like. She wants to say that video games have some relationship to things like sexism, misogyny, the patriarchy.
Yeah, fuck. I kind of miss the good old days when, like, the patriarchy was the worst of all the buzzwords. Oh, man.
Negative and pervasive
Man, I'm like one of those, like, Russians who misses the Soviet Union. You ever seen those guys?
stuff she sees in our culture. And this second claim is really where the meat of Sarkeesian hate came from. See, people like Thunderfoot or Sargon like to make little arguments against Sarkeesian's descriptions of games. Made the silly points we've talked about before, or...
Yes, the silly points, and it's just, you know, analyzing art from an objective perspective. Keep in mind, this is how art analysis has always happened, okay? When people analyze Shakespeare, they always analyze it from the perspective of, you know, the events happening in the story. You know, they don't go on a tangent about how, like, it's a fucking, about how Romeo, it's like a male power fantasy or some shit because he, like, whatever the fuck, he kills a guy. You know? I mean, obviously there's always a theme and that's supposed to relate to reality. But ultimately, the theme is told within the story itself. Okay, it's not, you know, it doesn't have to do with, like, the audience. And I mean, look, the audience is important, but the audience is important insofar as it sort of, insofar as the writer, you know, designs the story to appeal to the audience.
Picked small errors in her analysis. See?
But, you know, this is another thing. You know, these people just cannot actually enjoy art for what it is, okay? They have to relate it back to, you know, real life and their, you know, political culture war.
She spoke too broadly about Hitman. Her general observations about video games must be totally off base. But when we look at these people's videos...
Whatever.
We can usually find a common gesture, one that's presented either explicitly or implicitly. Sure, they say, maybe games are often constructed around male ego fantasies, and maybe...
Because they're made for straight men, which is a problem for some reason. Because straight men can have shit!
Women are often subservient to those fantasies. But so what?
Yeah, exactly. So what? And this is the thing, they've never actually presented evidence that this perceived sexism in video games actually leads to sexism IRL. Alright? There's never been any evidence of that ever presented. The point of the story is to present a theme or ideological viewpoint using entertainment as a vehicle to add to it and decorate that theme. Yeah. As a centrist, I've been called a snowflake by both sides. I forget what was being talked about, but it just showed me nobody knew how to actually use that term in the way they mean. Man, snowflake, that takes me back.
Why is that bad, or sexist, or anything like that? What's wrong with the hot ladies in my video games?
And yeah, like I said, the thing is that Anita Sarkeesian never actually presents an argument. She just says that it leads to sexism, 'cause I say so. People are always so gay and soy-filled. They're soulless and destroy whatever is creativity and imagination, which is why they don't go against goy slop like GTA and COD. You know, COD's been compromised too. Pretty badly, I'd say. Check out, like, American Krogan's content on it. Movies and music don't count. Have you ever watched Gintama? Do you think it's Kino? Actually, I haven't. Although I have a Gintama manga. Funnily enough, it's in English, but I bought it when I was in Japan. And I got it at a rock bottom price too, so...
And as we're gonna see, in order to sustain this attack on Anita Sarkeesian's work, in order to make her look as bad as humanly possible, these YouTubers are going to give us a very bent, unnatural vision of what media is and of how we can interact with it. So let's start with our main example, the thing we're going to talk about for the longest, the way these YouTubers discuss cultivation theory. Cultivation theory is an area of research.
Holy shit, cultivation theory? Fuck. I'm done with your theories, bro. How about you present some facts? Ever thought about that? People hate the discontinuation of disc games, but pre-order $100 GTA 6. I sure as fuck didn't. Fuck Grand Theft Auto. Man.
Research in psychology that attempts to study and demonstrate the impact that media has on people, the sorts of behaviors and dispositions it cultivates.
Psychology. Oh, look. Okay, I'm not gonna shit on psychology as a whole, but there's a lot of pseudoscience in there. And, you know, like, modern therapy is just total fucking bullshit.
And when these YouTubers talk about this theory, it is always to point out that the research has proven it false.
And apparently a fourfold rise in the number of people playing video games has not led to any kind of increase in violent crime whatsoever. It
True. Very true, actually.
has in fact coincided with a decrease, a dramatic decrease in these crime rates. And this is despite the overall trend of increase in population.
That games have no negative impacts.
And after the game Burnout was released, you would have expected to have seen a dramatic increase in the number of people trying to cause as much damage as possible in a suicidal car wreck. And we didn't.
That we have the science, and the science proves that Anita Sarkeesian is wrong.
Because I am from Gamergate, and I care about facts and evidence and reason.
Now,
man, how young was Sargon back then? Wasn't he like 28 when he started the YouTube shit? Fuck. Had my GTA even added lolicon options? If only, bro. That shit would be so fucking funny. Man. Psychology is mostly used to compartmentalize people into categories by diagnosing them with something that allows you to dismiss their opinion.
Oh, this argument is really fascinating to me, because it seems to
This argument is really fascinating to me. And they're literally just presenting actual scientific data. Okay?
rely on an understanding of art that is both totally wrong-headed and a bit gross.
Totally wrong-headed and a bit gross. After this, okay, I'm gonna go into Gemini and I'm gonna ask it, please write a video essay script, okay? Have it be in the style of a millennial from 2017, okay, talking about Gamergate. Fuck. Man, psychology itself isn't particularly flawed as a concept. People just use the term before saying random nonsense. Why is he wearing grandma's sweater? Just notice. That's what I was saying. Okay? And, you know, shit on Granny all you want, but it's the only thing that's stopping him from looking like a homeless crackhead. Okay?
Like, okay, let's say, for the sake of argument, that these people are absolutely right about their science. Every study we've done shows that video games cause no shift in behavior or disposition. Our research into cultivation theory has given us nothing but a bunch of bummed-out psychologists. Now, assuming all this, let's ask a question. What exactly would these findings mean to Anita Sarkeesian's claim that video games can be harmful?
What are you talking about? It means it wouldn't matter.
Well, to these YouTubers, it seems like it would mean everything. Mean that her entire work was a sham.
Yeah, it would actually.
No matter how much Anita needs there to be a connection between playing video games and their behavior in reality, because let's be real, if there wasn't, the entire premise of the series that she got feminists to give her $160,000 to explore would be bullshit.
But
Facts. Bro, you forgot to attach the Giga Chat image.
to me, it would mean absolutely nothing. And why is that?
It would mean absolutely nothing for him. Let's hear that shit. Well, at least he put the 2 Blue Archive waifus in the corner of his video. Maybe he secretly... You think this guy did that? No, that's all me, man. But I guess you're joking, but... Let's trust the science until it goes against us. Yeah, that's very interesting, isn't it?
Well, here's one big reason. I don't think that science is actually capable of disproving obvious facts about the way people work.
I don't think science is capable of disproving obvious facts about the way people work. Oh my fucking god. This guy's a fucking retard. I don't think science is Holy shit. There's no way this guy's real, bro. Lamau, I know, guy just doing a little trolling. Man. Yeah, I figured. How would the... Gamergate people react to Blue Archive, they might start foaming at the mouth. Fuck.
Media's ability to cultivate behaviors, emotions, and dispositions isn't some incidental point about it that requires further proof. Rather, it's the entire reason why media exists in the first place. People seek out art to be affected by it, to learn things or feel things. People make art to give others those experiences, to connect with their audience, or persuade them, or whatever.
Look, but then there's... Look, the whole thing is that you get into something really... Look, you start getting into something really complicated, but the whole thing is that... This is sort of what I mean when saying that he's, like, being super dishonest here, but it's like, Like, first of all, if we're gonna be talking about art at all, you know, we need to be talking about intent, because I think intent is very important, alright? Because if you understand the intent of a work, then you understand what it's actually trying to do, and that's the message that it's actually trying to, you know, present to the audience. And these guys don't really like intent. You know, like, the intent of any of the, like, the retro games he brought up, none of it was to actually be sexist, right? But, Soyance agrees with me. This dude's just a control freak trying to reframe the entire world around him so he can just be right instead of just, I don't know, being right. GTA I wouldn't call Goyslop. TBH, I haven't actually tried learning what that means, because giving a shit is too tiring. GTA 6 is slop, but 5, RP, and everything before deserves the praise. Sargon loves BA. His favorite is Karen because it reminds me of his wife's daughter! Holy shit, that's a good one, Adachi. Fuck. If I can't argue with them, they are narcissists and will always shift positions to appear correct. Art to distribute is to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed, but it should never, ever, ever disturb me in particular. I don't know, whatever. Look, I could get into this more, but there's a difference between actual, like, theme and action in a story. You know? Like, the theme of Mario is just be the good guy. That's basically as complicated as it gets, okay? And, you know, whatever else, you know, the perceived sexism that exists has effectively no actual impact on the audience, okay? No one thinks less of Peach because she gets kidnapped, you know? Anything after San Andreas is slop, IMO. Fuck.
Media is cultivation. It is the process through which the ideas and imaginations of others can be made somewhat available to us, so that we can understand and be affected by them. And science might be able to describe and quantify the impact that art has, but it can't be used to deny the fact that art exists, or that what it says matters to us.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, whatever.
But, okay. As much as I like this sort of utopian talk about how art is inherently meaningful, and as much as I think that's true, it doesn't really resolve Thunderfoot or Sargon's challenge.
Look, the whole... whatever.
Here. Sure.
Look, the whole thing is that he'd actually have to prove that, you know, all the microaggressions in these games actually do have have actually any impact at all on the audience who plays them. Like, are you really telling me that a guy became a misogynist chud because a female character in a video game said that the protagonist was attractive? Like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? That's actually just psychopathic.
They might say, art is by its nature an act of cultivation, but...
Fuck, we're only halfway done! My god.
How are we supposed to know what it's cultivating? And more than that, how can we possibly tell when...
And I mean, look, if we're talking video games, it gets even more complicated. Because, like, look, the whole thing is what they're talking... Like, a lot of the stuff is, like, you know, gameplay rather than story. And, you know, these games aren't even really about the story. So, damn, with the way he's coming at this, with the heavy-hitting facts, I bet he is making 30k a month and has more subs than Blunderfoot and Sargoy. I'm sure he makes good money. And I'm sure he also has a Patreon where he gets, like, fucking $5,000 a month or some shit. I have no clue. These bread tubers, they can really get their simps, I'll say that much.
Cultivation is bad. Well, to these tubers, to make the claim that any work of art is cultivating bad stuff, we'd have to look at the way that work of art is received by the surrounding culture.
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, Sargon and Thunderfoot proved with evidence that video games don't make people more violent, okay? So, like I said, that seems to imply that these microaggressions wouldn't have an effect either. You know, let's be real here. The point of Grand Theft Auto is to fucking kill people, you know, to cause destruction. So if Grand Theft Auto isn't causing people to become more violent, okay, then how are the prostitutes in it having a bigger effect? You know?
Study the impact that it's had and find out if it's causing real people to do terrible things to each other.
Oh my god, is he gonna bring up like is he gonna bring up like Elliot Rodger or some shit? Is he gonna bring up like how the Columbine shooters played Doom?
So, I guess we're back to using science and cultivation theory to...
So after he just said the science was bullshit, now he's gonna bring up his own science. Their science is fake because of reasons.
Prove our points about media.
Okay, their science about specifically video games was fake. Now my science about something else is real, though.
And since the murder rate isn't up, and since sex crimes aren't on the rise, I guess that the pattern Sarkeesian is pointing out in video games can't really be a bad thing. Now, I can honestly see why...
Bro, he better not touch the super gentleman. These people have convinced themselves that sexual content somehow affects people in a vastly different way from violence. That's actually the crux of the issue. Because that's another thing. Like, you know, people are consuming way more porn, including, like, you know, edgy, violent porn than ever before, you know? However, the rate of sex crimes has actually gone down. And, you know, to the extent that it's gone up, it's not because of, like, you know, it's because of a very specific demographic that has recently arrived, let's say that.
This argument was compelling to people. It seems to make a lot of sense, right? If you want to say that art is bad, you got...
I know there are bad things from both sides in the context of bad critiques about sexism in video games and badly written female characters. There aren't many major ones, but probably enough to talk about the precursor to antis, yeah.
To make sure that it causes bad stuff to happen. But even though I'm sympathetic to the people who bought into this logic, it is still, as far as I'm concerned, terrible logic.
Terrible logic.
And that
he still hasn't produced anything.
That's for one reason. When people say that art has destructive or toxic...
You know, keep in mind, by the way, Grand Theft Auto, biggest, you know, one of the biggest gaming franchises ever, okay? You know, people by the fucking thousands, maybe even by the millions, are gonna call in sick to work just so they can play Grand Theft Auto 6 all day. Alright? So if one of the most violent games, a game that was so violent, by the way, that people tried to get it banned, if that isn't increasing the murder rates, okay, then we can say with a fair amount of confidence that, you know, video games don't have a massive effect on people's IRL behavior. Aren't women the majority viewers of NTR? I've heard that before. I'm not sure how true it is, but, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. How old is this video? 7 years old.
Messages, they are almost never referring to the literal destructive impact that the art had on the real world. Instead, they're making a claim about the work itself, about what...
Why do most of these people have either crazy eyes or soulless eyes? Because they're either crazy or soulless.
They are almost never referring to the literal destructive impact that the art had on the real world. Instead, they're making a claim about the work itself, about what it says to us. So...
Huh? Okay, so they're not talking about the effect the art had. They're talking about the art, what the art says to us, i.e. the effect that the art had. Huh? Man, women do love cheating, so art does infect reality. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a deep dive into NTR one of these days. Might be interesting.
So, to show you what I mean by that, let's do a little thought experiment. Say a film is made that is unabashedly...
Bro forgot. Look who it is! It's the GOAT!
Nazi propaganda. Let's call it Lubin Schluben. Every moment in this film conveys an unironic love for Nazis and an explicit hatred of Jews.
Sounds like a pretty good movie. Bro, I want to rephrase that one. So what if the art says to us has no impact on our behavior? It shouldn't matter.
Say that this film is so horrendously racist that nobody in society can possibly be influenced by it to become Nazis. The vast majority of people watch it critically, tear it apart, maybe even reflect on how silly and gross Nazism is. The remaining minority might enjoy and agree with the film, but those people are incapable of becoming more Nazi than they already are. They are peak Nazi, already agreeing with all of the film's messages before they ever saw it.
Wow. Fuck. Man, he got the drip. Propaganda is different from pure fiction. That's actually really true. I was going to talk about that, but, you know, propaganda designed to influence people is completely different from, you know, actual art, you know? And not to say that propaganda is always bad, but, you know, it's a completely different sort of story. Uncle H mentioned.
Now, if what Sargon and Thunderfoot says is true, if the only way to say a work of art is toxic is to look at its literal impact on society, then we would be unable to condemn Lübbenschlüben, since the film has no tangible effect on anyone's behavior.
Okay, that's so fucking ridiculous. Okay, that is such a fucking insane jump. So he's basically saying that, okay, Mario, you can't say Mario... Okay, so Mario is sexist, and even though Mario doesn't negatively impact the world, okay, it's still sexist and should be condemned? What? Okay, that's so stupid, bro. I mean, Citizen Vigilante seems pretty successful. I mean, has there been a rise in Citizen Vigilantes, right? Ultimate Supreme Agartha, God, Big H mentioned. I mean, I don't know. Citizen Vigilante was pretty based, but I mean, we'll see. And even then, I'm not even sure if I'd call that propaganda. I still have to watch it. I don't know. I think it's like, I think you can rent it for $5. I should do it pretty soon.
But, see, that position makes no sense at all. Everybody with a brain knows that this movie is bad politically. Not in a way that means we should ban it.
Very debatable.
But in a way that is worthy of our scorn and disgust.
And the thing is that Anita Sarkeesian, maybe she didn't want to ban sexist video games, but she did want to change the game industry to not make games like that. Okay? That is still a form of censorship, even if she didn't demand a law be written. By forcefully changing the video game industry to match her vision, that was a form of censorship. Okay? So if you are anti-censorship, which this guy seems to be LARPing as, then you should still be against Anita Sarkeesian. Downloaded Citizen Vigilante when it was on Twitter. I can send it to you. I guess. Sure. I don't know. Do I even have Twitter DMs open? If they're open, go ahead. Thanks.
And it's not bad because somebody might become a Nazi when they see it. No, it's bad because it advocates bad things.
Yeah, so Mario is bad because, oh my god. Like, this is such a ridiculous extreme, and I mean, look, the whole thing is, he still, I mean, has he even really proven that Mario is sexist, right? You know, or that Mario is inherently bad? Is it inherently bad for men to have a power fantasy where they save a girl? Like, are you really gonna tell me that's inherently bad? For there to be a story where a guy saves a girl. Like, are you serious, bro? And the thing is that, whatever. And it is why Concord was even greenlit. That's the thing, every woke slop game in existence, you can trace it back to Anita. She started the movement. People die when they are killed energy. I can't believe he's comparing a Nazi film to Mario. That's the thing. We really need to stop blaming issues on singular groups. That's what I find the most exhausting, and it's pointing fingers. I want to say more, but YouTube stream chat character limit. Love how his example is once again World War II. All these people relate things back to World War II because everything is literally Nazis. Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Nazis are...
Okay, even the Israelis are Nazis.
Evil. Lübbenschlüben likes Nazis, so Lübbenschlüben is evil. That's it. Our burden of proof has been met. Now, watching Anita Sarkeesian's videos, she does cite cultivation theory a few times. Says there's a causal relationship between video games being the way they are and people being sexist. And to be honest, I kinda wish she hadn't said those things.
Okay, well, at least he's gonna have one. See, that's the thing. Anita Sarkeesian, she did say that playing games makes you sexist. So I guess he isn't going that far, but...
Like, I think they're probably valid to some extent, but I do genuinely believe that cultivation theory is a huge, confusing red herring and a waste of a media critic's time 9 times out of 10. But
then he makes his whole video about that, Okay.
That said, when you look at the trajectory of Sarkeesian's work, you
It's gonna sound bad, but if he can't even explain why it's bad, then why is he even talking? That's the thing. They can't, neither he nor Anita really are able to prove why damsel in distresses are and bad. They say it objectifies women or it takes away agency. But I mean, in the context of the story, you know, there's nothing inherently wrong with it, you know? And I mean, so since there's nothing inherently wrong in the story with a damsel in distress, and there is no effect on the audience making them more, because there's no negative effect on the audience making them more sexist, then, you know, these tropes aren't actually bad. You know, in fact, we've proven that, you know, these tropes, there's nothing bad about them. Man.
You can see that she means something very similar to what we described in our thought experiment. We can see this whenever she talks about games. It's pretty obvious, but let's just look at one example. In her discussion of Double Dragon, she calls the game's treatment of violence against women regressive crap.
Most recently, Double Dragon Neon in 2012 reintroduced new gamers to this regressive crap yet again.
And it's not like she had some data to back that up, right? She didn't wait for the Double Dragon studies to come in and prove that the game causes regressive behaviors. And of course she didn't do that, because she doesn't have to. She is a person who experienced this work of art.
She doesn't have to. The whole thing is that, look, she's making these, you know, these outrageous claims about these video games, okay? And then she's getting rightfully criticized, and now you're shitting on that, and now you're shitting on the critics. Fuck. Vine boom sound effect. Fuck.
And she's
doesn't sound bad at all.
Here that what she saw in it was bad, that it normalizes the idea that women should be used as passive props in the narratives of men.
But, you know, as established, neither you nor Sarkeesian are able to actually prove that it's bad, because as we said, in the story itself, there's nothing wrong with using these tropes in the story itself. And then also, you can't actually prove that it negatively affects the players. Funny, because leftists will immediately dismiss you if you don't have heckin' studies and data. Never even played the game, she criticized literal tourists. That's true too, actually. Not even a real game, or doesn't apply to them apparently. Her identity means she doesn't have to provide evidence. Yeah, she's just a girl who wanted to make an opinion. But the whole thing is that if she wants to say the games are harmful, then she should have at least an argument. You guys need evidence, which we will ultimately dismiss, but we actually need no evidence at all. Yeah, that's the thing, another double standard. Oh yeah, you guys need evidence. Oh, you have evidence? Oh, that's bullshit. Okay, oh yeah, we don't have evidence, but it doesn't actually matter. Like, fuck.
Stipulates that
this is exhausting, bro. I'm not sure if I missed the Gamergate era that much, actually. This shit sucked. This shit was ass. You know, you guys heard the mic quality of Thunderfoot earlier.
Violence against women can be understood as erotic.
Let me hear.
That it normalizes the idea that women should be used as passive props in the narratives of men. That it stipulates that violence against women can be understood as erotic.
It's so ironic how he says that, because the people who are aroused by violence against women, it's women. You know, we all know that we all know about these fucking romance novels that women are into. You know, we all know about how, you know, Redo of Healer is mostly, you know, most of the fans of Redo of Healer are women. All right. Check my pinned comment if you like BDSM and feel attacked right now, but also watch the rest of my video first. Fuck. You know, that's kind of funny how they go down this road, because then it's like, oh, we can't, because BDSM is kind of included in LGBT, they can't, like, attack the BDSM people. So then they have to come up with, like, these mental gymnastics about it. It's so fucking dumb, man. Lamal lesbians mentioned about abuse rates. Good point, actually. Pinpoint accurate.
When Anita Sarkeesian sees these things in society, she thinks they're awful problems. And for that reason, and that reason alone, she also thinks they're awful when advocated for in media. Okay, I can...
Yeah, except the games don't advocate for them. You know, when Double Dragon, you know, shows violence against women, it's done by the villain. Alright, how is that advocacy? Is it advocacy to just include something in your story, even when portrayed negatively? You know, like, hypothetically, You could make a story about a guy who's addicted to drugs and his whole life gets destroyed by that addiction. That story sure as fuck doesn't advocate for drugs, just as Double Dragon doesn't advocate for violence against women. Didn't Anita scam her audience? Pretty sure she never finished Feminist Frequency despite it being fully funded. I think that's more harmful than any video game. That's true, actually. I don't think she ever finished Tropes vs. Women in video games. I think there were supposed to be 2 seasons, and she got to, like, season 2, episode 1.
I already feel some comments coming in objecting to the things I've said here, and that's fair enough. So let's move on to some other anti-Anita Sarkeesian arguments. Like, here's a thing that these YouTubers might say. Sure, it's maybe the case that certain Nazi propaganda films can be condemned on their own merits, because they explicitly call for harmful acts to be done. But that same logic cannot be applied so easily to the games that Anita says are problematic, because those games don't all call for harmful acts.
That's true, actually. Like I said, this is what matters, intent, but these postmodernists don't actually care about the intent of the author, right? Fuck, history repeats itself, sounds like being allowed. Technically 2 seasons, so she got away with it. They see themselves in the role of the villain, so at who they can relate to, which is why they always see the actions of villains as endorsements. That's actually kind of interesting to think about. I wonder.
Like, Sarkeesian criticizes the use of prostitution in games, but as Thunderfoot points out, prostitution is not inherently any more immoral than is any other labor exchange.
Okay, well, I wouldn't go that far, but the whole thing with prostitution is that it's just something that happens in the real world, So if you want to portray that in your video game, is there anything inherently wrong with that? To the extent that it exists in these games, I don't necessarily think it's in a very misogynistic way most of the time.
All selling our bodies in one way or another, so why are we gunning after sex work here?
You see, the core here...
Yeah, Thunderfoot really was a libtard. Man. Honestly, I kind of think prostitution should be legal. Not because I'm a feminist, it's because I'm an anti-feminist, and I want men specifically to have more sexual freedom. Although the worst shit is like in the UK, where, in some places, I think in the UK, it's legal to prostitute yourself, but it's illegal to buy a prostitute. Like, what the fuck? Man. We were the misunderstood villains and shit. Nothing is black and white unless it's AI usage. Fuck.
Is Anita wants women to be ashamed of selling sex or sexual imagery. And I think that if they want to make an informed decision to sell sex or sexual imagery, then that's fine.
Or Sarkeesian criticizes the use of damsels in video games. But as the Amazing Atheist points out in his cameo in this video, when women are damsels in these games, it's usually posed as a negative thing.
That's true. That's very, very true. Because the whole reason, keep in mind, why he said it was bad is because it affects the audience. Except, as previously discussed, it doesn't actually affect the audience, so it's actually not bad.
Something that the protagonist must put an end to.
I could perhaps understand that attitude if the games Anita was attacking were advocating such a thing, but these acts are almost universally committed by the bad guys who...
What the fuck is this screenshot? I guess this is from, like, the Twilight Princess beta or something. What the hell?
The hero must then defeat.
Now, honestly, I think this is a really lackluster argument.
How is it a lackluster argument? Oh, I guess it's because, whatever.
It just doesn't make sense to reserve our judgments of media to only those things that the work is actively calling for. We also have to look at subtext and coding, and the way that the work creates meaning in the wider worlds of art and culture.
Man, did you hear that? Coding? Man, that was years before that became a buzzword.
And keeping with our Nazi propaganda theme, which I guess we have here,
Oh! Thank you very much, Buckley, for the $2. They'll never talk about rants, an iconic feminist. We hit the goal, so we will be talking about the Blue Archive video. Let's go. Thank you very much to all our donors. Let me find... Yes, thank you very much, Buckley, for the $8. And thank you very, very much, Elias Guys, for the $20. All right, you guys are awesome, and we will be covering that video, I guess, after we're done with this one. Hell yeah. Anyway, coding. Goal, goal, goal! Yeah. Prostitution becomes legal. Men pay for guaranteed sex. Prostitution stays illegal. Men pay for skanks on Tinder. No guarantee of sex. Which of the Jews benefit from more? Yeah. Shut the fuck up. All you do complain about Nazis and sexism. BA party. Let's go. Good God, we have to hear that guy spurking out again. Fuck. At least it's only 12 minutes this time. This video is garbage coded. Fuck, bro. Garbage coded? It's just straight garbage, man.
Let's use this boy as an example.
Oh! He's got the... Oh my... There's no fucking way! That's hilarious. This guy looks like he was very bullied in school, but sounds like he wasn't bullied enough. Probably was the bully, based on what other chatters are saying, calling him a sex pest. Fuck. He named them? What the fuck? I love this guy now. Let's go.
If we were all living in some kind of post-bigotry utopia that never had any concept of anti-Semitism, it's hard to see why this image would be a problem. There's nothing wrong with having a greedy character in your media, so why would it be wrong here? And yes, this guy is recognizably a grotesque rendering of various Jewish characteristics, but why is that a problem? Isn't it okay to draw people, Jewish people included, in a grotesque manner? And besides, what harm is this image advocating? He's just a boy, an innocent boy, minding his own business.
You know? Does this guy have a video on, like, the Palestine thing? Because this is the funny thing. Leftists used to be, you know, like, being anti-Semitic used to be up there with being, like, racist and homophobic, right? But ever since the Israeli thing, or the Israel-Palestine thing, you know, now they hate Jews. You know, if you go to my video on Which Hat Atelier, so many of the comments are calling me Jewish for some reason. Because, oh, they think Jews are all neo-Nazis or something because of the fucking Palestine. It's so fucking dumb. Man, the joke writes itself. Stereotypical Jew mentioned. Why'd he edit in a self-portrait? Such a perfect screen cap for character assassination. LMAO. Nobody cares. He has such a punchable face and voice. Boy with a full beard and dastardly look. He's just an innocent boy. Just an innocent little boy. Holy shit.
Hunting for turnips. But no, this image obviously sucks, because in the society it was used in, it conveyed terrible ideas.
You know, is that image actually from Nazi Germany? I always thought it was made after the fact, but that's kind of funny. Man, I'm not caught up on the anti-Semite lore. I'm sorry, guys.
It served to implicitly justify racial hierarchy and to normalize the idea that Jewish people were subhuman. It is because we recognize that this piece of art is a reflection of the culture that made it, and because the opinions expressed by it are still present in modern society, that we say this art is harmful. It's
Look, the whole thing is that, you know, we're getting to another thing where he's conflating propaganda with actual art. And like I said, intent matters. You know, obviously, a anti-Semitic caricature made by the Nazi government for propaganda purposes is completely different from a video game with a bare-bones story where a plumber rescues a princess, okay? And I mean, look, you could, you know, also prove that, say, Nazi propaganda made people more anti-Semitic. You absolutely can't, you know, you could, okay, you could maybe prove that, you know, you could prove that Nazi propaganda was made to be anti-Semitic, you know? You cannot say the same thing about Mario. You can't say that Mario was made to be sexist or that Mario made people sexist. You can't say that. There's no evidence for that. Fuck. Well, you don't wring your hands imagining all the golden coins you can get? Come on now. I make that face like twice a day. Hassan Puker really did a huge number on giving leftists a bad rap. Especially him calling more than one known Jewish people Nazis. That shit's still so funny to me. Propaganda does not equal sexy women. Man.
Not all about what happens on the surface level. And because of this, when we're presented with these games,
It's like, he's like, oh, all the subtext, like... This is what I mean. It's like, okay, here's an obviously anti-Semitic Nazi cartoon. Okay? You gotta really appreciate the subtext of this image to see why it's harmful. What fucking subtext? Like, bro. Like, okay, maybe if you're completely ignorant of the whole thing, you're not gonna know. But I mean, come on, bro. Man, Puker. Hassan Puker. That's kind of funny. Hassan ain't a leftist. He's a champagne communist that's more than just being left. Fuck. Hassan's a real piece of work, man. I rarely see anti-woman propaganda except for Andrew Tate. Man.
Sometimes have to answer complicated questions. For instance, what perspective does this game have on prostitution?
Oh, hello, honey. Looking for a good time? I can give you a good deal. Too bad you have friends around. I'm not into groupthink. Come around next time. I might even give you a freebie to make up for it.
Does it make us reconsider our puritanical sex-negative biases? Give us empathy for the people who work these jobs? Or does it sort of thoughtlessly glorify a series of bad things? Portray sex trafficking and tourism as fun and goofy and alert?
Holy shit, bro. Man, you know, the funny thing, that was binary domain. And let me double check. I don't want to make any mistake. I want to make sure I get this right. This game was made by RGG Studio, Ryogago Toku Studio. And I find this really ironic because if we're talking sex work specifically, the Yakuza series has had very positive portrayals of sex workers. You know? So I really don't think you can say binary domain was made to be inherently sexist. You know, I'm sure even if you looked through the rest of the game, you could probably find much more positive portrayals because the devs portrayed sex work very, you know, generally pretty, you know, sympathetically in their other projects. My empathy for NPCs. I miss when we could joke about stereotypes. Those were fun times. Interspecies reviewers glorify sex work. Good eye, good eye. Actually, yeah, good one. This is the thing, you know, they're also talking about NPCs. NPCs have a, you know, marginal effect, and they only exist to develop the world a bit more. You know, that prostitute exists just to show that, like, sex work exists in the world, you know? And this is another thing, like, if you look at the characters Anita actually talked about, I mean, how many actual major characters did she talk about? Is it really all just, like, damsels in distress and random NPCs? Fuck. Maybe we'll have to rewatch Tropes vs. Women one of these days to see, because, like, that's actually insane cherry picking. Wow, the scene from the game didn't make me see women as lesser just because it's an Asian prostitute. If anything, I like the VA and want to hear her in other games. I wonder if that's an acceptable take. I mean, look, I don't think she makes women seem lesser anyway. I mean, look, I know prostitutes exist. So, having that in a game is neutral for me, you know? That's just a fact of life. Where's my empathy for straight gamers? Fuck, if only, man.
Play into a historical tendency to treat Asian people as exotic and subservient. I haven't played...
This game was made by Japanese people, by the way. Holy fucking shit, bro.
Whatever game I'm pulling a clip from here.
I didn't play whatever game.
I can't answer this question, and the answer might be very complex. But when Anita Sarkeesian says that the second answer is more true, and gives evidence for the idea that that's a common theme in video games, responding with the statement, but in a vacuum, prostitution is perfectly fine.
Look. Fuck. Oh my god, bro.
Is not a real...
Some of my family members used to be prostitutes, bro. I'm sorry. Bro, that's brutal.
Argument. It doesn't actually deal with the work at hand or the society that made it.
And the thing is that he's not dealing with the work at hand either. You know, he's saying, I didn't play this game. Here's this one, you know, random, like, 10-second clip out of context, and that's supposed to prove that, you know, that video games are turning men into sexist, misogynistic chuds who want to enact fucking total woman death or something. Fuck. The VA for the prostitute is Laura Bailey, one of the most popular American VAs. So the stereotypical character is directly profiting a woman IRL. Yeah, good point.
All it's really saying is, I don't see anything wrong with this drawing. I can't see what you're finding a problem with here.
See, this is the whole thing. He's literally saying that having a prostitute in a video game, an NPC prostitute in a video game, is comparable to a Nazi propaganda cartoon. Are you being serious right now?
And it's like, cool, you know? Got him, dude. Alright, one last super quick argument. Thunderfoot sometimes says that games can't be sexist or harmful because they're sold under capitalism and people buy them.
Notice how the camera moves, how it focuses on and zooms in on specific body parts to highlight the aspects of women meant to be the most important.
And, you know, it still hasn't been proven why sexualizing female characters is bad, by the way. It's all just an assertion. My family doesn't have any prostitutes, they do it for free.
My god, this pop critic has sharp skills. Yeah, that's quite right, Anita. The camera focuses on the sexual nature of the women, because in reality, the audience is mostly men.
He says that, like, a fair amount, and I think these other guys do too.
It's true, okay, because men have this thing called a sex drive, and they like sexy women, so unless you can prove that that is inherently wrong, then what? Man, they should have focused on their brains instead because they're heckin' college educated. Fuck.
It's almost as if these games are designed primarily for men and boys, isn't it? Yeah, it's almost as if they had a particular demographic in mind and they catered to that demographic.
Claim 3. The video game industry is dominated by male perspectives. Surprise, fucking surprise.
But what he seems to have forgotten is that you can buy cigarettes under capitalism, and you can buy an apple under capitalism.
Well, I mean, look, how about this? Should cigarettes be banned? I mean, should you infiltrate cigarette companies and make them sell cigarette candy instead? Fuck, yeah, because men like women, that's it. Banana Man mentioned. Look, I guess he's saying that, like, just because it's capitalism doesn't mean it's always good, and I mean, okay, bro. But you still haven't proven that it's bad, though. You know? I could prove cigarettes are bad. You can't prove that sexy video game characters are bad. They're digging so deep they are missing the point. We need to renormalize people being uncomfortable with shit, just accepting it and moving on if it wasn't causing real harm. Acting like women don't dress promiscuously with their free will. Yeah, that's another thing that's true. Women sexualize themselves way fucking more than men do. You know, it's always so funny to hear these arguments from these male feminists because it's like, fuck. You know, she ain't gonna fuck you, bro. Okay? No woman's gonna fuck you because you read feminist literature, okay? Watch some Andrew Tate instead.
Cigarettes kill 400,000 people every year, but apples, they don't do nearly that much damage.
Yeah, and sexy video game characters don't do nearly that much damage either.
It's actually said that they keep the doctors away. You might think that cigarettes should remain legal, and I'm sympathetic to that idea, but...
I'm sympathetic to that idea? Does that mean he wants cigarettes to be illegal? Oh, fuck. Talk about the nanny state, man. Fuck.
But you'd have a hard time convincing me that they're not harmful to the people who use them. Thus, I have proven that not everything sold under capitalism is equally good for us. Okay. So, looking at all these arguments that these guys made to try to...
And he still never actually gave us an argument on why sexy video game characters are bad. And Anita didn't either. Okay? So, where is it, bro? I'm waiting.
To show that Anita Sarkeesian's points were bad, we've been trying to figure out if what they were saying in these videos was true. But now that we've shown that they're not true, at least to my satisfaction...
At least to my satisfaction. Oh, there's the key word here. Yeah, because women are so pure. Cars cause car accidents, so should they be banned? Fucking hell, this guy is exhausting. Gulags and breadlines are the only fun you're allowed. Yeah.
It only makes sense to ask a different kind of question.
The thing is that, you know, the damage that feminism has done is actually way more quantifiable than the damage that sexy video game characters have done. You know? Which is where this shit gets so crazy. You know, because we can look at, say, how, you know, boys are discriminated against in schools, in universities, in careers. You can look at mental health and the male suicide rate. You can look at the divorce rate. You can look at the birth rate, you can look at abortions, you can trace all that back to feminism. All right? Oh yeah, but it's sexy video game characters. That's what's causing problems, okay? Well, why? I don't know, bro. It's feminism or something. This guy 1000% doesn't talk to women. Yeah.
What are these arguments here to do? What do they want from us? And the answer is simple. These arguments...
Look, the fact of the matter is they want to protect video games because they like video games.
Whittle away at our ability to interact with media as media, to prevent us from making any kind of claim about the impact or importance of art.
See, this is so bad faith, okay? Because he's all like, we just want to have a discussion about media. That's not what this was ever about. Anita Sarkeesian explicitly wanted to change the video game industry to match her vision. That is what it was about. It had fucking nothing to do with just wanting a discussion. All right? It was about changing video games. And there's a lot of gamers who liked video games as they were and didn't want them to change. That's where this all started. That's what it was about. Okay, anything else is just fucking revisionist history. But this is what they always do. You know, they always try and play this game, okay? They literally declare war on you and then are just like, oh, we didn't do nothing. Can't help but zoom out of this picture and realize the narrative they are weaving. They see everyone else as either uniformed or, like, actually evil. And they're all these bleeding heart underdog Chungus freedom fighters. Yeah. Fuck.
Whether it's because the science hasn't come in yet, or because we can only talk about the explicit message of a work, or because capitalism functions as some kind of safety blanket against criticism, the point is always the same. You may think that you can talk about the worth of art from a political or moral perspective, but in fact, that's just a mirage. Anything you say about media is just an unverified and likely unsupportable position, and you should probably forget about it.
Holy fucking hell, man. This guy's an idiot. Oh yeah, you're not allowed to talk about our video games or whatever. Keep in mind, by the way, Anita Sarkeesian never got removed from YouTube or anything. The worst the harassment ever was like a couple trolls on Twitter, which, by the way, everybody gets. Alright, and also some chuds making video responses. Oh, the horror! We go around and use male violence statistics as evidence to say that men are a danger to themselves and others. Like, no statistics or patterns if you use them for anything else than that you're dumb and retarded. What? We're the rebellion, acting like they're in Star Wars. Oh, honey, call Tyrone. The Soyance TM came in.
But where does that leave us?
Man, where does that leave us poor, innocent liberals? Okay, you're saying that we're just not allowed to fundamentally change video games to make them fucking gay and lame and suck ass? What are you talking about? Gamers can't talk about video, only people who actively hate games can talk about them, chud. And that's the thing, it's like, you know, they want to attack video games, but then they want other people to not be allowed to criticize them or to retort, you know? We are actually right, and you are not able to talk about it because it's a mirage. I'm ready to move on from this weirdo, man. 5 minutes left. Just hold on, okay?
3. So, what's at stake here? Do these people, Thunderfoot and Sargon, do they really believe any of the stuff they've been saying?
Projection much? Of course they do, bro. I mean, feminists use male statistics to say men are a danger to themselves and others, yeah.
Well, no, of course not. These guys like to pretend like they hate Anita Sarkeesian not because of what she says, but because of who she is and the damage she causes.
She causes damage because of what she says and also what she does. You know, Sweet Baby Inc., you know, these woke game consultants. Anita Sarkeesian started that. She was the original woke video game consultant.
They talk about how she sucks because she released her videos slowly and didn't like being harassed on the internet. Talk about how she's a fraudulent grifter.
Look, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, okay? Well, I'll put it that way. And look, she was a grifter because she did scam the Kickstarter audience, but whatever.
Who gets her lackeys to phone in bomb threats so she can make more money.
She's actually a con artist who fakes and orchestrates her own harassment in order to gain sympathy, which she uses to scam people into giving her money.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the harassment against Anita Sarkeesian was orchestrated by her and her clique. You know, it's been pretty widely documented that a lot of hate crimes are actually done by, you know, black people or Jews to drum up sympathy or whatever. Like, are we really going to say that it didn't happen to Anita Sarkeesian at all? And, you know, maybe there's some old head here who, like, knows this for sure, has some evidence, right? But it's not like it's outrageous, you know? Guess I can last another 5 minutes. Pro inferring they're grifters. Anita's the grifter. She literally graduated from a notorious scam school. Slay the Spire 2 suffered for Anita's eco in 2026. That's this thing. We still feel her fucking... We're still... You know, we still feel her to this day. Okay, she's like...
It is kind of funny because it's so ridiculous.
Is that ridiculous, though? Because, I mean, you have benefited from threats made at you.
About how she's a fake gamer, and so she shouldn't be talking about...
And, you know, cuts him off, by the way, before he can even really make the argument. But, you know, maybe I'll track down that video I sent. And also, he's saying she's a fake gamer. She is a fake gamer. She's admitted it before.
About games. About how she's a hypocrite because she's pretty and uses her clothes and makeup to look even prettier.
You know, because it's not like you in real life would ever use appearance-enhancing cosmetics, you know, like bright red lipstick to imply arousal, or eye makeup to draw people's attention to your eyes.
Look, Thunderfoot is just bringing up something real, okay? Obviously, Anita Sarkeesian uses makeup to make herself look more attractive. Okay, so she's actually playing into the same harmful stereotypes or whatever the fuck. Yeah, calling her pretty is a fucking stretch, okay? That's, like, goddamn.
Do you think that if I had sex with her, she'd cuck me?
What? What?
Makeup to draw people's attention to your eyes.
Do you think that if I had sex with her, she'd cuck me?
Bro, there's no fucking way. Did he just admit to being a fucking cuck? Sorry, bro. I don't even think Anita would cuck you. What the hell? Oh my god. This is the guy who calls you an incel, by the way. These people love Jews, yet not hate Jews, yet their entire ideology was born from Jews. Lamau, no soul, just a husk of a body. Yes, I guess we know why Western video women are so ugly. They're based on her. Answer is yes. Lamau, there it is. He couldn't keep it bottled up any longer. Barely disguised. He loves being a self-proclaimed cuck. Shows his massively schnoz side profile immediately after saying that could not be more perfect.
Well, I'm sure.
To your
We need an instant replay.
Do you think that if I had sex with her, she'd cuck me? And while I'm sure.
Oh yeah, quite the schnoz there. Oh my god. There's no fucking way. I can't even handle this, man. This is fucked up. That explains the crazy eyes. Holy shit.
These guys really believe all of those things. We can still read between the lines here a little bit. These guys are unapologetically anti-feminist, and because of that...
No fucking shit! What the fuck? Man, this guy is these guys are unapologetically anti-feminist. What the fuck?
They see no reason to change media to make it...
Genuinely, this feels like bait. If only. He's still doing the fucking He's still doing the bread tube shit all these years later, bro. I want that LARP woman gone. Fuck. Not dead, but away from my fandom.
More feminist. And they don't criticize Anita Sarkeesian's work reason to change media to make it more anti-feminist.
And, you know, it still hasn't proven why feminism is a force for good, by the way, but whatever.
And because of that, they see no reason to change media to make it more feminist.
Exactly. Why don't you prove why changing media to be more feminist is a good thing? Because we've seen the results of this feminist revolution in video games, and it's been bad. We've gotten games that are worse in terms of both gameplay and story. Alright? Gee whiz, I'm getting the impression that these guys aren't on my side. The anti-feminists are against feminism? Yeah, it's shocking. This guy is disgusting. No fucking kidding, bro. Wow, this is the perfect encapsulation of these people, but then says he wants to have sex with her and get cucked. So did he not just sexualize a woman? People are no moral ground to stand on. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. Oh, sexualizing women, it's so heckin' bad. By the way, I want to have sex with Anita Sarkeesian, and then I want her to cuck me. You know, keep in mind, by the way, you know, cuckoldry is inherently like a voyeuristic fetish. Alright? So I would say that's actually, like, even worse than just a normal sexual fantasy. Worse than just finding a woman sexy normally, okay? This guy is more sexually depraved than the average, like, you know, random gamer who likes seeing a woman in a bikini. You know, this guy's fucked.
And they don't criticize Anita Sarkeesian's work because of cultivation theory. I mean, where are the studies that show that these videos are causing murder rates to increase? And they don't criticize Anita Sarkeesian's work because she explicitly calls for immoral actions. All she does is give her opinions about media, right?
The whole thing is that she calls for the art to be changed and censored. You know, I would very much consider that an immoral action, and people are allowed to have their own interests. You know, if you really love pottery, okay, it's fine for you to say, object to a pottery studio being shut down, even though there's nothing inherently wrong with a pottery studio being shut down. You maybe just really like the pottery studio because you really like pottery, right? You know? Fuck. I mean, I don't like to mock people's appearances too much, but I mean, are we surprised? Fuck.
And they don't criticize Anita Sarkeesian's videos because they exist outside some benevolent capitalist structure. I've got some hot news for you. Anita Sarkeesian's work is actually facilitated by capitalism. No, they hate Anita Sarkeesian's work mostly because she says stuff they think is bad. She's a feminist who...
And look, from their perspective, it is bad because she wants to censor and change video games, which she succeeded in. And we can see that it was bad for the game industry because all the games suck ass now. Feminists are fine until a rape victim still dates men and feels comfortable and safe around men, gets married and has kids, and then they go crazy.
Wants various things about games to change, and they disagree with her vehemently about it. It's the same basic reason why she criticizes games. They just hold the opposite position. And saying all this, it kind of makes you wonder why I'm even making this video. I mean, I've spent God knows how long now giving my case against these arguments that were said like 5 years ago. They center on a feminist critic who's a lot less relevant than she used to be. And meanwhile, the people...
Weirdly enough, I think she still does the consulting work. So, more relevant than you'd think. Yeah, because, yeah, Slay the Spire too. I think that had her in the credits. Fuck. All communists are paid for by capitalism.
Making these points don't even seem to believe them. How is this not...
Don't even seem to believe them. That's such fucking insane projection, bro.
Not just me wasting my time. Well, here's why I'm making this video. Because people like these use arguments like the ones we've talked about to try to control your mind.
Arguments like what? Like, you know... analyzing art in a way that you disagree with because you're a fucking psycho leftist? Like, come on. You know, using evidence to show that video games don't make people more violent or don't make them more sexist. She was part of Slay the Spire, but that looks like an actually good game. Yeah, I think she was in the credits for fucking Slay the Spire too. Fuck.
Intentionally or unintentionally. They are alienating you from one of the most fundamental things about being a human, your ability to understand and interpret art as a person who lives in our culture.
The whole thing is he doesn't even understand or interpret art, okay? He is concerned with the way art affects people, you know? He doesn't actually care about the intent of the art itself, or, you know, what the art actually says. He cares about, you know, how he thinks people interpret it or how it affects people. You know? So effectively, this is the thing that kind of bothers me with these guys, because they don't actually respect art at all. He wants to tear down the art in question and use it to, you know, push his own political agenda. Man, are you trying to get women to be convinced to fuck you? They don't actually believe what they're saying. Now, here's my extreme hope and justification for my response. Fuck.
Your capacity to recognize messages and to treat the minds and ideas of other people as important. You give all that up, and what do you even get in return? A big slab of dirt that says fuck feminism on it? A meaningless token that reminds you that your games are fine and that nothing should ever change about them, and that anybody who says different is just an unenlightened snowflake?
Look, that's true. The whole thing is that it's true. And I mean, look, let's say this, you know, tourist wasn't a word back then, but Anita Sarkeesian was a tourist. Almost the quintessential tourist. She wasn't a gamer. Okay, she even admitted that herself. Even though she LARPed as a gamer, she admitted herself that she didn't really play video games at all. Alright? She explicitly wanted to change video games to fit her vision and even succeeded in it. Alright? She had very little respect for the gaming industry and its history or what games were actually trying to do. Alright? Like, come on. Exactly, and all the art they love is disgusting and grotesque, just like them. Forgot to insert the Giga Chat image.
Sargon and Thunderfoot and whoever else, these people want to convince you that they're offering a good deal here, that they are giving you more than they are taking away.
I mean, they are. If Sargon had won the video game war, video games wouldn't have gone to shit. What has Anita Sarkeesian given me? It's not like she's some fucking free speech advocate. No fucking feminist is. No leftist is. You guys are way more censorious than fucking Sargon of Akkad or Thunderfoot. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, Sargon and Thunderfoot, they're actually fucking Nazis because they interpreted art in a way I disagreed with. Okay? This is fucking oh yeah, but Sargon is acting in bad faith, okay? Because oh yeah, what the fuck? This shit's pissing me off now.
They're wrong, and it matters that they're wrong. So,
oh fuck. Let's look at all the patrons.
That's the end of that incredible
Oh my
video.
fucking god.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Who the fuck is paying this guy? God damn. God damn! I should have been a bread tuber. Fuck. My god. Like the stream, you filthy animal. Sargon betrayed us by not graping Anita. Man, to be fair, I wouldn't grape her either. Go back to your 4B crap and leave men finally alone. Isn't that what the 4B movement wanted to do? Thousands of dollars sent to this guy just for being an idiot. Fuck me, man. It's over, bro. It's over, bro. Holy shit, though. My god. That's a crazy thesis, though. Oh yeah, this is the whole thing, okay? Even though he tries to dress it up in a very intellectual way, his thesis is still, everyone who disagrees with me is a Nazi. Okay, leftists, they always got the same bag of tricks, you know? Fucking hell. I think I already had his channel up. Racist kids, and he's still doing the same shit. Oh my, is that him? Is it? Wait, let's see. How... Let's see here if that's him.
Melania.
Oh my god! Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Fuck. The years have not been kind to him. God damn! Nor would it to hell. Fuck. Man. Might ask Claude to write me scripts and become a bread tuber. Actually, that's a really good idea. Have AI write bread tube scripts about like communism or whatever. And then just rate it out. Or you could get even fucking AI to do it, okay? These people are brain dead. If you get a good one, they probably wouldn't even be able to tell. He became the image. He's become more chosen. It's literally him. Life is a cruel thing. Looks like he's addicted to something. He's really he's completing his crackhead arc. Holy shit, I was gonna joke about him having a huge neural, but holy fuck, this is way worse than I thought. What cuckoldry does to an MFer. Bro. No kidding. Still wears the sweater. Bro, this is what 7 years of BreadTube does to him. Does to a quote-unquote man. My god. And here he's doing the classic Trump derangement syndrome. But I mean, he's getting mad views though. The most hated... Is he making a... Where's the video about Israel? I need to know. I need to know. He made a video about fucking Charlie Kirk. Oh my god, of course. Kanye. Fear of death. Very interesting. Of course, this guy is gonna make a video like that. He's addicted to baby foreskins. Fuck. Man, I guess the anti-aging properties, I guess that was just a myth. Where would they be without the far-right boogeyman? Lamau, the most hated children's book. Is that not The Boy in Striped Pajamas? Of course, it's on World War II. He's got a video on the fucking Hannah Montana movie. Holy shit, bro. This is so fun. This is like nightmare fuel, man. I would imagine watching more of this guy's content. That would be a fucking... That's a nightmare, bro. He's got a video on Blair White. Shit. The conservative propaganda of Dr. Phil? Is Dr. Phil conservative propaganda? I'm out of the loop on that one. I don't understand people against circumcision, but that's not important right now. Yeah, I guess let's not get into that debate. Fuck. We can see him losing hair in real time. Oh my god, yeah, if I made this content, I'd become super gentleman. Holy fuck. My god. Man. I guess this was, fuck me. The Wasteland of Jordan Peterson. Ben Shapiro. I wonder where's his take on Israel. Maybe I'll try and find that for next time. Find the video. Oh, he has a whole video on Sargon of Akkad. Alright. Man, this guy's actually making me defend fucking Sargon. But whatever. What else did he even have before that? Yeah, before this, he just talked about movies, and then he went full breadtube. Alright. I guess it makes sense, because all these video essayists are just leftists anyway. Man. Super Mario Bros. 3 analysis. La heckin' sexist video game, by the way. Man. Crazy. Look, we found the cheat code. You just gotta become a bread tuber and make videos about racist kids and Nick Fuentes. Fuck. What the hell was going on? Dr. Feel saw a video about Oron High School being misogynistic because the protagonist gets married with a man because doesn't follow her own ideology. Many such cases. Whatever. We're done with this guy for now. We're at 244, so I'm not sure how long this test would take. If you have to go through every character, I feel like it's going to take a while. And I don't know how many questions are... Okay, I think we might save the other Blue Archive stuff for another time, maybe. But we'll watch this video, and then we'll see how we feel after that one. But let's start with Blue Archive fans hate me. Just for some context... This is a sequel to a video called Blue Archive Fans Are ... The video, he says, all Blue Archives are pedophiles, and in the original upload, he said that all Japanese people are pedophiles. So, very interesting. But let's just get started. Lamau, not this guy. Look, we hit the goal, okay? It's what the people wanted, apparently.
I'm sorry, please, I'm sorry. I take everything I said back. I'm sorry for criticizing a bunch of weird degenerative for getting off to a bunch of kids. I'm sorry. I take it all back, please.
Bunch of weird degenerative.
Okay, enough of this. Yeah. So, if you didn't know, I made this video right here, which is me definitely wishing the best upon these people, and that I want them to live long and comfortable lives.
Why do people hate me? Proceeds to be xenophobic, yeah.
And Master Twitter Dweller over here got a little angry at something that I said, which gives lives. And Master Twitter Dweller over
got angry. Yeah, here's it. 2 minutes in, and he says, and I quote, "I genuinely think that all Japanese people might be pedophiles." Yeah, I think I'm done with this video. Man. Why do people hate me? Proceeds to be xenophobic. Anime girls aren't children regardless of their age. Facts. Weird degenerates. Shows the boys. The irony.
Here got a little angry at something that I said. Which given, yes, that is fair. What I said, that's which because I was dumbass and I didn't do the most basic Google search to just be like, okay, yeah, this Stu is from Korea. And
So he still thinks all Japanese people are pedophiles. He just got the fact wrong about Blue Archive, not being Japanese. What the fuck?
My dumbass said Japan, because I wasn't thinking cognitively, I was being a dumbass. Yeah, Blue Archive fans possessed me! And that's on me. It was a real retard move of me to just assume that this thing was from Japan, and that's 100% on me. But pretty much the gist of it is...
It's actually funny how he makes a video about Blue Archive and doesn't even bother to look up anything about it. The Goys, actually. Why does he sound like Sneeko? Oh my fucking god, bro. What's up with all the cucks today? Okay? What the hell? And we had the guy talking about NTR earlier. It's fucking over, bro. Zoomer tubers belong in the wood chipper. Fuck, almost too kind.
I made a video on Blue Archive, going through the Reddit of it, saw a bunch of weirdos lusting over characters that are 11 and 12 years old. I'm just like, yo, these are weird. Kill them. They don't deserve to exist. My ass made a trash.
Yeah, so by the way, showing all this gore, by the way, so it's fine to enjoy gore, but, you know, liking anime characters is wrong for some reason.
Shock value edgy teenage joke that came out horribly wrong. Then the Morat tunnelers known as Twitter dwellers got a hold of it, and now they're breathing down my neck. So surely the person that made this tweet is a normal person. It's like normal stuff, just a normal human being.
Okay, so now this whole thing's gonna be like a smear job, or an attempted smear job. Okay, get ready for some true basedness.
Fuck what I said, which, fair. Oh, well, what do you know? This person's a mass lolicon defender that posted shit like this, this, and this. Oh,
let's see.
Fuck what I said, which, fair. Oh, well, what do you know? This person's a mass...
Yo, by the way, this guy probably can't even use a computer because he recorded the Reddit part of his last video on his cell phone. Like, bro, OBS is free. I love how normies get triggered by anime girls but love watching gore in their media. It's honestly but violence is different from sex for some reason. Okay, they can never explain why, but it's different. It's people moral fag over drawings, but reality TV shows are completely fine regardless of how much gore and sexuality it has. They'll never say this about troons and drag queen shows. That's another thing. Okay, anime is bad, but drag queen story hour is fine. You know, I think I saw this one reality TV show where it's about like it's like a family reality show where the women are on OnlyFans. Like, what the fuck are we even doing at this point, bro? Yeah, but anime's the problem. Okay. Yeah, Blue Archive is bad anyway. I think people in real life should be violently killed over a video game. Yeah.
Lolicon defender that posted shit like this.
Aquacunny is infinitely more palpable than Toriel. Hag. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Giga-based. Undertale and Deltarune antis, bro, why are there so many Lolicon and Shotokan in this fandom? The two most looted characters in the fandom. Man. Giga. Cream is hotter than vanilla, not gonna lie, Giga-based.
Oh, and I also forgot to mention that this person's a Mass Chibi review supporter and...
Mass Chibi review supporter? Chibi really just dug up a roughly 17-year-old case to attack someone for defending Deme. That's how low he's willing to go. You people digged up photos of his family and disrespected his dead brother over fictional characters. Stop playing victims and repost you sell. The context of this is that someone was attacking Chibi, and it turned out that that person was a registered sex offender. Alright? And then people were defending the registered sex offender. Okay? That's what this drama is. Alright? So now this guy is taking the side of the fucking registered sex offender over Chibi reviews. Who, keep in mind, by the way, Chibi's never done anything bad IRL, okay? He's never groomed people, he's never sexually assaulted anybody. I don't even think I don't even think he has a criminal record, okay? But, oh yeah, all the harassment against him is totally justified. Threatening to dig up his brother's grave, who is completely innocent, by the way, yeah, totally justified. Video's just advertising lolicons, lol. Damn, if I was this normie, I would have just left that one out of the vid. Lol, cry bullies crying when they get clapped back. Imagine my shock. CP good, BA bad. Get with the program. So tired of being in clown world. We really fucking are, bro.
Fan was another YouTuber that is a big lolicon supporter and has posted shit like this.
I like Shotokan MILF Dojins. That's Giga-based. And...
this.
Older sister / mother ex Shotokan Dojins be fine. It's funny how he's bringing that up, because the whole point of those Dojins is that the focus is on the MILF, you know?
Man, okay.
Age gap romance is one of my favorites. Never understood why people that are anti-lolly try so hard to get into games that are catering the lolicon. You know, this is another funny thing about the Chibi haters, is that they always try and say he's a lolicon when he's not. You know, dude's into fucking vor and giantesses. He doesn't even really like lollies. Oh yeah, he just defends it. And by the way, this age gap romance is a fucking mainstream shoujo romance. Alright? And this is fucking Zenless Zone Zero, I think? Fuck.
I mean, no wonder why his fiance was cheating on him with his own best friend. I mean, at least he could actually provide something.
And funnily enough, the fiance apparently was also actually a Shotokan. So take that for what you will. This guy's just pointing out lolicons and then saying, these guys are bad and need to die with no explanation why he's not brain dead for making these claims. Honestly, it's a little better. The whole thing, if you want to make a video where you lambast lolicons, I mean, you should at least bring more attention to crazy stuff they've said. I mean, he's just flashing stuff across the screen. You're expected to pause it and actually see what they say. And even then, these aren't even, like, the best posts. Like, you can find way more entertaining stuff out. Yeah, you're telling me the weirdest thing Chibi has ever said is that he likes, like, MILF X Shota Dojins. Are you fucking kidding me? The most likely crime I could see Chibi doing is getting arrested for stealing a bunch of candy from a small store and then never doing any crimes again. He stole, like, a candy bar when he was 5, and then his mom made him return it. I need more gay Shotacons. Yeah.
For her pleasure, that BBC 12-inch going right in her, cheating on him with his own best friend. I mean, at least he could actually provide something.
Oh yeah, he's got the fucking SpongeBob gif again. What the fuck?
For her pleasure, that BBC 12-inch going right in her, while this dumbass sitting in the cuck chair, jerking it to a bunch of drawings of little kids. And other than the BBC, that person is also probably not a loser. Like, this is the one and the only instance I'll probably ever defend cheating. I mean, shit, I would too. I mean, who would want to be with a fat, chud loser that just posts on the internet how he jerks off to drawings of little girls all day? And
you know, keep in mind, by the way, Chibi's fiance was obese, and I mean really fucking obese, okay? She was big, a big girl, alright? She's 17 years, 364 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds old, you sick pedo! If you had a criminal record, I can't see it being any worse than that. I didn't need to know his fetishes, total Normagroid death, so many people should just not exist. I completely agree with Thanos in the regard that a lot of people don't deserve life, Lamau. Post this on the internet. Mentioning 12-inch BBC completely unprompted, normal behavior, TM. That's the thing. You know, oh yeah, Chibi, okay, who by the way is an otaku. He is supposed to be a weird anime guy, alright? Meanwhile, we have the normie over here talking about how his how his fiance was getting piped down by the 12-inch BBC. Oh yeah, bro, you're totally normal, by the way. Normal behavior.
night. With that little did no dreams. I feel like, come on. You know, I'm starting to think that it's not because of what I said, and it's because you felt called out, and you decided to take some dumb thing I said, and now you're
Funny thing, did he even call any of us out?
trying to use it against me. With your mass squad of pedophiles and weirdos.
Yeah, so you're a pedo for liking Freerin, by the way. Blackton bull behavior.
Genuinely, God forbid, on what these people's search histories probably look like. That shit would probably send you to the black wall. You take one glance at it.
There is little girl porn, little girl threatened, Nazi flag patch sale, Nazi patch for sale. I'm on page 3. Little girls in swimwear, little girls.
Bro. You know, I wonder what the context of that clip even is, because I've seen it before. Jeez, I don't know. I think we know what this guy's search history is, though. This guy's making BBC cuck fanfics about a random guy he doesn't like online. It's just funny, though. It is kind of funny. Did he just say school shooter porn? Bro, yo, the Dojin authors are sleeping on the school shooter stories.
Nudism, little girls. 6-year-old girl pussy. Little girl pussy medical pic. HIV positive porn.
Wait, what the fuck? Why are you looking up HIV? Why the fuck would you look that up? Oh my god, bro. Man, she's 5,000 years old, you nonce. Yup. Thanks one of the school shooter history being reallowed. He, like, had autism. Actually, that explains everything.
Going on to page 4. Little girl's chest. Little girl's masturbating. Going on page 5.
Like, these people genuinely can't be real. Like, the amount of times I said, like, bro, I feel like I'm going insane. These people cannot be real, yo. You know what, let's go through some of these replies, why don't we? Okay, we have reply number 1.
The one funny clip he found. I hate Zoomer humor, fuck.
Here, and, okay, so we're taking screenshots of subtitles out of context to try to make me look bad. Reply number 1 here. And, okay, so we're taking screenshots of subtitles out of context to try to make me look bad. Mind you.
Bro, I don't think we gotta do much to make you look bad.
In both of these screenshots, one of them I was talking about how people that are like this only serve for human experimentation. I mean, come on, am I wrong? And the other one was me giving an example on how being obsessed with this shit can lead to real life actions.
Which is an assertion with no evidence. We're back to the same fucking thing, by the way. Oh my god. Well, you just go in fucking circles with these people, I swear to fucking god. Zoomer humor is just seizure 21st century humor edits with shitty rap music and inane Zoombonic commentary on top. Fuck.
Can. Keyword can. But this person reposted shit like...
Can! Yeah, just like how, you know, violent video games can cause violence. You know, the Columbine shooters loved Doom. And it's so fucking stupid, because if he's going to concede and say, like, actually, you know, maybe lolicon doesn't cause pedophilia, then what the fuck are you even talking about, bro? That's not taking him out of context. He straight up said that shit. Yeah.
This and this. This character's 16 years old and this character's 15 years old.
Bro. Crazy, man. That's crazy. You're telling me this for the first time?
But I guess I'm such the big bad evil for wishing death upon worthless people like you. Okay, yeah. Like, I know damn well if your nasty ass was a girl, you would be rank 1 when it comes to making false allegations, you bitch. Loki.
What? What the fuck are you talking about?
You just do all of us a favor, find your nearest bridge, and jump off that bitch. Oh, and did I forget to mention that these chud motherfuckers are threatening to, like, I guess beat me up, or like...
If we met IRL, I'm actually gonna do what you say you should happen to us. Oh, they're threatening to beat...
Dox me. Like, really, come on. Yo, let's run this shit, come on. 308 Ariel Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico, A7104. Come on, bitch ass nigga, let's run this shit.
Yo, this guy would get absolutely eaten alive if he ever actually got into a fight IRL. It's like with DSP. You know, DSP would talk so much shit online. Whenever he met someone IRL, he would always fucking fold like a paper bag, turn into a total pussy. Alright? Like, you know, you can check out like this was in like some of the documentaries on him. Okay, he would always talk shit to his fighting game rivals on the internet. He would be like, fight me, bro. And then meets them in real life. He's like, oh no, I was just joking around. Oh, fight? I'm not so sure about that. The same shit would happen to this guy. Are you fucking kidding me? They expired. What? Should. Lollies attract pedos. They don't make you one. The pedos they attract also tend to hide their real pedophilia by being antis. Yeah. He has to be schizo. He would cry if someone would so much as say a mean thing about his appearance. Yeah, at least from the POV of a lolly, because I think being in loss of control is just as fun as being in control hentai, not real life. Oh. Alright.
Asshole. But nah, deadass. You really expect me to take a motherfucking named Reze Ara seriously?
Giga-based.
There's this motherfucker. Hey, if we meet her out, I'm actually gonna do you say shit happened to us. Shut your stupid ass up. Oh, I'm pathetic and disappointing. Oh, okay.
With you predator catchers, and it's just a bunch of troll throwaway account whining about contents on the internet. This is giga-based. In all seriousness, this is actually really pathetic and disappointing with you predator catchers, and it's just a bunch of troll throwaway account whining about contents on the internet. Like, really? What are you gonna do to me physically? He cuts it off, but this is the whole thing. This guy actually was one of these predator catchers. And, you know, they always go down this route because they don't actually give a fuck about doing any actual good, okay? They just do it for the clout. That's why he made a video on BA. That's why he's making a sequel. It's purely for clout, purely for views. He doesn't give a fuck about catching predators. This guy's making fun of people for saying they would beat him IRL in the same breath he says they should jump off a bridge. Yeah. Damn, that's actually the big true.
When you say shit like this, but I'm oh, I'm pathetic and disappointing. Oh, okay. When you say shit like this,
my love for Cunny is as intense as my hatred for niggas. Both will put me in jail. Hell yeah! Remember to raw dog fucking impregnate your sister. Holy shit, bro. Giga-based. They just like the idea of feeling like a good person without having to put in real effort. That's a part of it. They mostly just want the power fantasy, and they want the status, they want the clout, and, you know, they want to beat up on people who they perceive as, you know, being, as people who they are allowed to beat up on. I was gonna say that, but you said exactly what I wanted to say. Yeah.
but I'm the disappointing one. Okay. Oh wow, and you're like a Nazi Brenton. parent supporter.
Hell yeah.
That does crazy shit like this. This person's genuinely a weirdo, yo. Like, why don't you do me and everybody else a favor and you take that razor that you're using to carve Nazi symbolism into your thighs? How about you, instead of do that, you put that shit...
Yeah, more hardcore than you. Would you ever carve anything into your skin? I doubt it. Kick a bait. I was raped as a kid and I love Blue Archive. All the aunties hate me for that. Verton's top gal is my fucking hero now. His random viewer is giga-based. Many such cases.
on your wrist and just... And also, get your ass off of YouTube and away from me and everyone else, and take your lame loser ass back to 4chan and Reddit, you genuine...
Normies are so fucking retarded. I swear. Go back to fucking Reddit. You do know Reddit fucking bans all the lollies. I mean, I guess they still have the fucking Blue Archive subreddit, all the lolicons, but I guess they still have the Blue Archive subreddit. Also, I don't know, I guess 4chan and Reddit, I guess 4chan's pretty degraded these days, but I mean, they are like polar opposite websites, at least they're supposed to be. Yeah, 4cuck is dead, dude, no fucking kidding, man. Yo, this weirdo who might actually do something said they want to come find me and beat me up, Lamau. Bro says this while having Lego Avengers in the background. Reddit, you can only be a rape victim if you agree with everything I say. Half of Reddit hates Lolly but loves Guro. That's the crazy thing. I talked about this before. Reddit bans lollies, but they allow certain non-con, bestiality, and gore. Okay, assuming it's all drawn, of course. Reddit is for leftists. I don't know how it's still touted as some like old 4chan, and 4chan is also dead. That's the thing. 4chan's basically dead now. And Reddit is a leftist platform. I don't know why this guy finds some, like, Nazi or whatever, okay? And is like, go back to Reddit. Since when have Nazis been allowed on Reddit? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? But anyways, also, this guy is fucking Lego Avengers in the background. Oh, yeah, but you're the weirdo. You literally have... Yeah, we're all loser nerd weirdos. This guy is fucking Lego Avengers in the background. Okay? My god. It's really disturbing. People don't even use the term chud correctly when a normie. Yeah.
Genuine geek. And even say if this is like some race.
You genuine geek. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna use fucking Marvel's Lego Avengers as my background footage. Okay, because that's what manly men do. Okay, that's what cool guys do. Fuck.
Bait. This is not good rage bait. This is just fucking weird. It is
not good rage bait. You have an entire section of your video dedicated to it, so it couldn't be that bad.
This is genuine, just weird. Rage bait's supposed to be funny, something stupid. This is literally just neo-Nazi mass racism. What the fuck is wrong with you? And pedophilia. You're a genuine geek, bro. And don't even try to...
You're a genuine geek guy who plays Lego Avengers. Fuck. Lego Batman was better. Yeah, exactly. At least play a fucking good Lego game like Lego Indiana Jones. That he'll never show a comment of someone making a genuine good argument against him. I mean, they never ever do. They always find, like, the worst arguments possible and use it as basically like a straw man. The word chud has been graped to death, as most terms get when they get infested by normies. We should go report his video for threats. I mean, I don't condone mass flagging, but maybe you could, actually. I'm not exactly sure about the rules. I still don't think you should do it, even if it was justified, but... You know, normies will always do that. Whenever you make fun of them, they just cry and call you weird. Yeah, he sure does play a lot of kids' games. Very interesting. You know, I'll put it this way, okay? You know, a fisherman goes where the fish are, okay? So, you know, why exactly would a grown adult play a kid's game, right? You know, versus, say, a Blue Archive fan who plays Blue Archive, a game that's, you know, played almost exclusively by adults, right? You know... Who's more likely to be a pedo? I'm just going to say that. His favorite dating site is Roblox. Yeah. Actual low IQ cry bullies, Lamau. I think that would be a terrible idea.
Say, oh, you said the thing about Japanese people. Which, given, yeah, I do deserve the criticism and shit for that. It was uncalled for. Some dumb shit. Didn't do the most basic research. Just some dumb shock value joke that came out horribly wrong. And that's all on me. This person's genuinely just a neo-Nazi racist that hates Muslim people and is support...
Neo-Nazi racist. I already love him. Okay, he's already my hero. You don't gotta sell it to me. And I find this also funny because these guys kind of do the faux edgy thing. Like, Taxed Brass kind of does this too. The whole thing is Being edgy is about, you know, going against the grain, going against society, saying something that is actually controversial, you know? And the whole thing is that the one who's actually controversial in this scenario, it's the lolicons, it's the Blue Archive fans, okay? He's the one with the basic-ass normie take, you know, getting mad at the edgelord, at the actual edgelords, you know? But, you know, that's what you get. You see a lot of this kind of faux edginess these days, because even though he's, you know, showing, like, gore gifs or whatever, he's not actually saying anything edgy. You know, his take is actually extremely milquetoast, alright? Man, just let the nigga say what he wants. We all know he won't do anything. Not a grown adult guy, a grown-ass man, lol. Literally threatened that you should hang. This guy only knows of Nazi and KKK is the worst insult to call someone, yeah. Okay, we're way past the Nazi insult stuff, okay? Come up with something better. Told my brother multiple times to get off Roblox because he got groomed and hacked multiple times. He still plays it, bro. Fucking delete that shit off his PC. Zoomers are all fake tough guys. They will cry at the first sight of edginess. Case in point, this guy. This guy would cave in like 2 minutes if someone said they'd pay him $20,000 one time. Fuck. Tax Brass lolly video is so bad. I might cover that eventually. But I just really hate Tax Brass. And I gotta do the Think Before You Sleep one too. Fuck, I hate Think Before You Sleep so much. Touches his PP to his shadow because he loves big black things. Yeah, exactly. Some people really think they're so edgy, but I say NGR or another slur and they cry out. All these guys are just copycats of Big Bungie who say whatever is agreed with but add swears and tell people to get off themselves. To off themselves if they think it's justified enough to get away with. Based another fake edgy anti, simp before you sleep, yeah.
Sort of a mass shooter and is like a fucking pedophile. Like, all of you people are meaningless. You people are fucking corny as hell. Like, holy shit, yo.
You know, I'll say this much. You know, he says we're all meaningless. The average Blue Archive fan is honestly probably has accomplished way more with their life than this guy. They probably make more money, okay? And look, if you look at the Blue Archive fandom, the Blue Archive fandom produces a lot of good content, you know? Even if you go just beyond, say, you know, there's the crazy amount of dojins, and, you know, beyond just being pornographic, I do think they have some genuine artistic merits. And then there's also, you know, a lot of the animations and whatnot. Like, the Blue Archive fandom makes a lot of good stuff. And, you know, if you look at Blue Archive fans... Oh, wait, no. If you look at the Blue Archive devs, I mean, they produced a very, very successful gacha game. I imagine their parents are very proud of them, you know? You know, being, you know, working on one of the biggest gacha games out there, one of the most successful mobile games in Korea, actually, you know? I mean, I would certainly be proud of my kid, even if I don't necessarily agree with everything about the work. And shit before you pee. Imagine using the word corny, lol. Jump before you act. You can tell what kind of person he is by the way he talks and the gifs he uses. He's an NPC tuber, yeah.
Fucking hilarious. But oh no, guys, I guess I have to do a total rebranding because Clipping Monster here thinks it's corny.
Bro, what is this edgy-ass profile picture, lol? This looks like the type of edgy profile picture I expect an edgy teenager would have, not what I would assume to be a grown adult. Is this guy a grown adult? And yeah, that is a pretty, edgy profile picture. Yeah, this is real fake edgy, I'll say that much. Man.
Oh my god, who would have guessed? The edgy teenager picks the set edgy teenager profile picture, who would have guessed?
So what, is this guy just another teenager? Don't get me fucking started on this shit. I am fucking done with all these fucking teenagers coming in and trying to police what we should or shouldn't be doing. Like, seriously, fuck off. Okay, go to fucking school, bro. Alright? Pick up a fucking math textbook. Do your fucking homework, bro. Why are you engaging with the Blue Archive community? Alright? Like, seriously. Alright, it's not meant for minors. Man. Baby's first Fallout game, yeah.
Or what about Mr. Dong Wizard here calling me a cuck for censoring the word
I mean, he has a suspicious fascination with BBC, so... is he a cuck? I mean, perhaps. Fallout New Vegas is already a Reddit game. It's basically the Reddit game.
On a website where you would get demonetized, your video taken down, or age restricted.
What the fuck was that? Oh my god.
Imagine that you're a skinhead, white supremacist, racist that hates Indian people.
Bro, everybody hates Indian people now. Holy shit. Oh, I'm so edgy. I show gore gifs in my video where I call lolicons pedos and tell them to kill themselves. Oh, by the way, you're racist? You hate Indians? Oh my god, you gotta be... This is so fucking gay, bro. So performative. No, he is a bull. Bro, that's what he tells himself. Children are more and more getting into adult media. It's concerning. Honestly, yeah. Look, if you're gonna be a kid into adult media or go into adult spaces, okay? At least fucking respect your elders, okay? You know, I was never acting like this, okay, when I was a kid on the internet, alright? These people are making shitty performative edgy YouTube channels instead of finishing their social studies homework. Man. Straight up gay black porn. Yeah, what the fuck, bro? I thought this guy's a teenager? Why the fuck is that on his hard drive? Oh yeah, but Blue Archive fans are the problem. This guy seems like a closeted homosexual looking for attention from men on the internet. Fuck. Am I playing into his gay fantasy or something? Oh my god. I did this for the money. So does that make me a prostitute now or something? Fuck. I'm genuinely shocked that he doesn't even use clips of Joshua Graham, but I bet he's such a poser he never even got far enough to discover that lore. Fuck. Imagine he just watched a YouTube playthrough. Guys, I'm so fucking edgy, but don't be mean to Indians or Muslims, Sarge. Do not be mean to the Browns. That's the thing. Like, fuck. Man, back in like the early days of the internet, people would just like Heil Hitler as a joke, you know? People would Heil Hitler to be edgy back in the early days. Oh, but that's heckin' problematic now. He is bad, but Sar, don't be mean to me.
And believes white people are superior. Like, holy self-projection. Like, sheesh, man. Just because you got cucked so hardly by an Indian man and he stole your girl does not mean you gotta be over here calling me a cuck and rant.
This guy is 100% like a cuck, okay? Like, this much projection doesn't come from nowhere, okay? This guy has serious issues, okay? He's a cuck, and he's probably like bi too or something. Oh man, I need the gay gif for to own the lolly pedos on YouTube. That's definitely why I need it. Can't be edgy if you use vent art. Do not redeem. Eat the pusa. Him making death threats is enough to report his video. I don't condone reporting, but I don't know, maybe it is against TOS.
On Twitter day in and day out because I censored a word on a website that's so censored that I can barely even say half the shit I want to say. Okay, what about this? Blame xenophobia.
Yeah, that was true, because he said all Japanese people were pedos.
Fair criticism. Oh, when you're reposting pictures of lolicons in swimsuits and sexual positions. This is coming from a person that says pedos DNI in their bio, by the way. I think the reason why...
Yeah, no shit. Fucking hell. Oh, you're telling me the lolicon doesn't want to interact with pedophiles and this is supposed to be a point against the lolicon? Excuse me?
You don't want pedos interacting so that way you don't...
Man. It's better to leave this dude alone. It is better. Alright. If he makes another video, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see.
Any competition, but yeah. Or this, another day, another xenophobic shit with a photo saying fatherless behavior. Fair enough. But real quick, can you explain to me on why you're reposting photos of a character that's 11 years old sucking on a carrot that's made...
Gigabit.
to look like, well, you know, and another character that looks extremely young but has an unknown age because they're an android, basically just a shittier version of Diana from Pragmata. Can you tell me that?
Oh my god. Is this one of the guys who thinks that Diana from Pragmata is pedo bait? Now that'd be interesting. This guy complaining about those images but showing them uncensored, very likely a closeted pedo. That's another thing that they always do this. They're like, okay, so this shit is pedophilia, but let me save it to my PC and then show it uncensored in a YouTube video. Like, excuse me, bro? So you're, possessing and distributing what you think is CP. Okay, whatever.
Right, you can't, you fucking pedophile. Oh, and can you also explain on why you're talking about wifing up a character that's 16 years old? Right, you can't, you fucking pedophile. Don't say it's not pedophilia. Like, do I need to read the
That is xenophobic and Islamophobic because, as you can see, he is from Morocco, okay? Teen marriage, child marriage, it's a part of his culture, okay? Our blessed, our prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, okay, had the divine marriage with Aisha, All right? So how dare you show this as, how dare you be Islamophobic, okay, and disrespect, okay, this holy Muslim man. This Aryan Brown's channel is probably gonna die soon because he's not funny or he's just Griff from now on. Still older than Aisha. Exactly, okay? It is blessed by Allah himself. I don't know, we'll see where he goes. He wasn't really, I mean, he got okay views. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe he had a bunch of other videos that he deleted or something, but we'll see what happens.
You're talking about wifing up a character that's
The thing is that he was like doing the pedo hunter grift before, so
16 years old. Right, you can't. You fucking pedophile. Don't say it's not pedophilia. Like, do I need to read the definition of pedophilia for y'all? Okay. Pedophilic disorder is characterized by recurring, intense, sexually arousing fantasies, urges, or behavior involving children, usually 13 years old or younger.
yeah, it's funny. He says this is literally pedophilia, and then he shows a definition which actually shows it's not pedophilia because the character's 16. I don't really care about, like, the clinical definition of pedophilia, right? But, I mean, it is, you know, like, pretty pubescent. So, what if a trans man goes to Afghanistan? Will he get forced into womanhood and be raped? Lol, Muhammad said, I ain't waiting a lot when they suggested him marrying an adult. Yeah.
And don't be on some bullshit like, oh, it's just a cartoon, it's just pixels. Federal laws.
Okay, here's a guy misunderstanding the law again.
Protect Act of 2003. This law makes it illegal to possess, distribute, or create any visual depiction of minors engaged in sexual activities. This includes drawings, cartoons, and other artistic representations, even if no real children are involved. The law doesn't make exceptions for fictional content.
See, is that he brings that up. I'm not a lawyer, but it's actually not illegal federally in America. Lolicon isn't illegal federally in America, okay? The law is actually a lot more complicated than that. I don't know. You can look into it yourself. Multiple lawyers, I think, have covered it before, but... And I mean, look, if you think that this shit is illegal, then how come you're not reporting it to the police? And also, the guy who you just talked about was from fucking Morocco, so you should bring up the Moroccan law. But whatever. Fuck. That actually happened, by the way. Don't make me point at the sign. Protect Act 2003 defends lollies. Why do Zoomers all sound the same? Wasn't that law deemed unconstitutional? That's the thing. I know it's not. I think it depends on state, because states have laws, but generally it's not. And look, you can buy lolly content in America legally. You know? It's all banned from, like, mainstream platforms, but it's not inherently illegal to sell, which is why you can go to, like, I think Kagura Games sells lolly visual novels and stuff, or one of these platforms. I don't remember all of them. Scared of a 4-letter word. Based.
Scared of a 4-letter word? Shit, y'all need to be scared of another 4-letter word. It's called the cops. The worst has landed you on my radar. That's a bad sign for you. Hold up. Is that you, Sean the Legend? The Sean the Legend that got an ass whooping so bad that you had to...
What?
Deactivate your Twitter account and abandon your YouTube for an entire year? That Sean the Legend and your...
Wow, this guy's real deep into the fucking lolly... I don't know about this Sean the Legend guy. But I assume he's, not portraying the situation accurately.
Coming back for another ass whooping? Like, what did you do in that 1 year's time? Did you try to get some therapeutic help to rebuild yourself and leave this disgusting shit behind you and try to start new? And here you are in my comment section, back on the streets doing the same goddamn thing! Okay, let me stop. Don't think I'm gonna forget that you posted shit like this, this...
Giga-based.
This...
Giga-based? Holy shit. Oh my fucking god. Fuck. Also, he thinks Lolicon is predatory, but still uses Twitter, which is filled with lolly hentai. Yeah, that's true. Look, why don't you report Twitter to the FBI then, if it's such a problem?
Oh, and also, wasn't your dad a pedophile and your family hates you?
What the fuck is this? It sounds more like it's the other way around, honestly. I don't know, well... Look, the whole thing is that, I don't know, from what I'm seeing, it looks like he's black and his family has a lot of, practices a lot of negative aspects of black culture, which is unfortunately quite common But, we'll get into that another time. Oh, Sean the Legend was a guy that Gideon put into an actual fist fight for clout. Then they called the cop. Wait, did they actually do shit to him IRL? What the oh, that's fucked up, man. Yo, that is actually fucked up. Jesus.
I mean, shit, I guess the pedophilic shit runs through the family. Shit, and low-key, no wonder you can never move out of your parents' house of the family that hates you, and why you can never keep a job down, because you're probably too busy in the back break room, too busy beating it off the drawings of little kids, you fucking weird. And why you can never keep a job down, because you're probably too busy in the back break room, too busy beating...
Yeah, here's a video of a animatronic furry jerking off. Okay, but that's not problematic for some reason. Still showing content he thinks is illegal and openly showing it on YouTube. I think it was something he was apparently asking for, though, so I don't know. So when he picked the fight, that's pretty retarded, but whatever. Lol, what is Psycho?
Beating it off the drawings of little kids, you fucking weird ass. Also that you want your entire family to go to hell except for your nieces and your nephews. Yeah, man, police!
Oh man, I want everyone in this group to go to hell except for the kids. What? At this point, it's pretty nasty how personal this guy is getting over pixels on his screen. It actually is kind of crazy. Like, this is way beyond just a standard let's clown on the lolly pedos, you know? I'm black and I admit the country I come from does have a pretty pedophilic history. Yeah?
Save those fucking kids, bro. Somebody. Like, how is in your place of residence not become a fucking radio now? Oh shit, my bad. It already has. It's 23 megabytes a second. Also, did I forget to mention that his dad's a pedophile and his family hates him? Also, that he's a fat black man chud with megabytes a second. Also, did I forget to mention that his dad's a pedophile and his family hates him?
Yeah, so his dad. So that's guilt by association, by the way. And by the way, that's not even what he said, but whatever. What the fuck? Yeah, I wonder what his thoughts would be on the Brazil child pregnancy problem. That's a good point. You know, what was it, like 40,000 child pregnancies a year or some shit? It was crazy. Some crazy number like that. Wait, FNAF, don't they have children's souls locked in their bodies and they just showed it jerking off? Oy vey. Well, that was Springtrap. There's an adult in there, but it's still a furry, which is still zoophilia. Maybe because everyone in his family sucks except the innocent kids. Yeah. No fucking shit. Also, why isn't he making videos on furries being zoophiles? Oh, because it's different for some reason. It's also, it's trendy to shit on lolicons right now, right? Lamau hates blacks, but also hates Nazis. Normies are legit psychos waiting for their socially acceptable cue to destroy someone's life. Yeah.
Also that he's a fat black man chud with sausage fingers.
Fat black man chud with sausage fingers? What? Wow, why does it matter if he's black? Keep in mind, this guy was lambasting other people for being racist, but now he's lambasting this guy for being black, apparently.
And hates his own race.
Okay, so he hates his own race because he's criticizing hoodweebs, which is a very specific group of people. And I don't even think the term hoodweeb is even black exclusive at this point. And then also complaining about black guys speaking in hood lingo. Okay. Honestly, like, okay, alright then. Whatever you say, bro. Total normie death sounds like just his type considering the clips he uses, yeah.
One more time. Did I forget to mention that his dad's a pedophile and his family hates him? And not
his dad's a pedophile. Fuck.
Only did you not change your actions at all in that 1 year's time you disappeared, you never actually even changed how you talk. You still talk like a cornball 7-year-old that thinks you're in an anime.
Cornballs.
Like, when you make Lolicon fans mad, they start talking like an anime villain, bro. Genuinely. You can't look me in the face and see motherfuckers type shit like this, this, and this. And try to prove me wrong, bro. I mean, like So, Sean, why don't you just go back in your Moa cave, disappear off the internet, or hopefully for the better of all of us, you just fucking kill yourself. Because...
Fuck, just kill you. Yeah, I think you're right. This has to be against TOS at this point, alright.
All you do with your life is just try to argue with people that think pedophilia is wrong, and then you just jerk off the drawings of little kids on the internet. Well, bitch, you...
Yeah, showing a fucking rabbit jerking off, by the way. Fuck. Do you hear yourself talk? Dude, gonna be crazy if this dude isn't black, because he censors a lot of words. Some of them clearly meant to be the N-word. I can't describe how this guy talks without being banned. Fuck.
And moaning on Twitter to a bunch of nobodies on how badly your life sucks, with a bunch of situations that you caused. Also, did I forget to mention that his dad's a pedophile and his family hates him? Like
Fuck. I'll say this much. I doubt your family is too hot. I doubt your family likes you too much either, okay? I'll say that much.
Like what I said, these people are literally the most worthless and most useless life forms on this planet, bro. I genuinely think flies and...
It's funny. He never actually proved that the guy in question is even a pedophile. Okay? Man. You got a Discord, Kai? No, sorry. I might set one up eventually. I just hate Discord, and apparently they're gonna have fucking digital like mandatory ID soon, which I'm definitely not a fan of. I don't know, maybe I'll find an alternative or something. Likes to attack victims, yeah.
And gnats are...
That's the thing. I mean, all right, the guy, he's lambasting, okay? He's in an abusive family, okay? His dad's a weirdo. It happens, okay? And it's his fault for some reason. You know, that specifically is his fault, okay?
More useful than these people, yeah. Like, they don't even have any good retaliation on why they do this. And since they never have any kind of good retaliation, all they try to do is...
What do you mean?
Dislike your shit, make the situation about you in any way that they can, and just try to silence you, because they have no actual way of fighting back. Or they just say this weak shit saying, oh, it's just a drawing, it's just a...
It is just a cartoon. Oh, they have no retaliation. You have no argument at all. Actually prove that it causes pedophilia. You can't. Nobody actually has. All right? His proof is that lolly is bad because it's just because of the dubious US law that doesn't seem to be in effect. Do normies understand any moral judgment aside from ick and or weirdo? Projection much, yeah.
Cartoon. It's not real. Like, nigga, shut your stupid ass up, bro. Like, genuinely, what would you have weird-ass motherfuckers done if there was no dumb, edgelord, shitty joke in the video that you could use against me? What would y'all have done? Like, I gave my accountability statement on why I...
The thing is that I can't actually criticize, you know, other than him just being, like, not very funny and a retard and, like, you know, an ass. He doesn't actually say anything of substance. That's the whole thing. Like, this video is just 12 hours of him just, like, fucking bitching out. He doesn't actually say anything of substance. You know, he's like, oh, lolly is pedophilia. Okay, you don't actually prove that. You know, I can show evidence that it actually isn't. But, you know, you don't actually care about that. He's like, oh, they're acting in bad faith. You're one of the most bad faith motherfuckers I've ever seen in my entire life, bro. I mean, come on.
Said what I said in that dumb shit. But now I want you people, you weird motherfuckers, to say why you think it is okay to get off to drawings of kids. Why do you think it's okay? Why do you defend it with your life? Come on. Well, why are you over here making up...
Yo, because it's a drawing, it doesn't have any effect on real life, and there's been multiple studies done that show that liking lolicon doesn't make you a pedophile. Everyone who's ever actually done an investigation into the subculture has come to the same conclusion that there is a very clear distinction between lolicon and shotacon and actual pedophilia, okay? I've actually done the research, alright? And look, if you really want me to present my sources, I will, alright? But look, I'm the one... But look, that's just how it is. He's just using lolicon as a dressing to vent his violent fantasies and desire to insult people without backlash. Yeah, exactly. Okay, he wants to make this video because he wants to shit on people, he wants to attack people, and lolicons are just, you know, a socially acceptable target for that. Alright? And that's the whole thing. If tomorrow it's suddenly, you know, the culture shifted and lollies were fine, you know, he would switch up in a second. Okay? He would retract his previous statements and he would find a new target to attack. That's just the fact of the matter. That's why he doesn't go after furries. Okay, because furries aren't socially acceptable to attack anymore for whatever reason. Okay, I mean, they kind of are, but, you know, lollies are the easy target right now. Yeah, bro, just let us censor art again. This time it will be a good thing. Yeah, there's that aspect too. You know, because if you go after lollies, then you have to go after all underage characters, and then you potentially have to go after violence and other shit. Alright? The slippery slope is real. Alright? I finished break. What ludicrous things have I missed? You haven't missed much, man. Do not worry about that.
Whole ass lingos like antis for people that don't agree with this shit. Come on. Explain. Pedophile lolicon boo archive fans when they have to get a statement on why they think it's okay to jerk off to kids. That's any...
Yeah, give a statement about how lolicon is pedophilia. Present a study. Present a real argument. You haven't done any of that. This has just been your own baseless assertion. Okay? All right, it's like we're out here saying that, like, yeah, I know you might think that the Earth is flat, but actually we've done the math and we found that it's actually round, and you're like, that's fucking bullshit, fucking retard. Like, come on, man. All right, obviously the Earth is flat. Where's the curve? Where's the curve?
Thing other than it's just a drawing. It is hilarious though. Fucking doxing and threats over.
Doc, he's like, you're threatening me? Bro, the whole, like, half the video is just you saying that lolicons should die and you would beat them up IRL, but now you're getting pissed about some random guy in your comments saying that if you ever met up IRL, he would beat you up, which is, by the way, a fact, by the way. Okay?
Fucking Blue Archive. That's fucking hilarious, bro. Like you.
You're the one saying that you think people should die over Blue Archive.
People have done absolutely nothing other than just prove me and everybody else 100% right about everything we say about you people.
How? The main point of contention is you say lolicons are pedos, which you still haven't proven, and none of the responses you've shown have actually proven that lolicons are pedos. Not a single fucking thing that you've presented proves your thesis, okay? Proves that assertion you've made. This guy spent the past 7 minutes bringing up a guy's specific personal life's details and telling him to off himself. These kinds of videos are so predictable. They can guess everything they're going to say like clockwork. Yeah, existence and incidents of child sexual abuse in an African setting and raise the taboo on the absolute phallocratic power of the fathers and uncles over young girls and women in general. Never forget what happened with Australia and them having the breast size of consent and the height of consent unironically. That's the thing. That's the slippery slope. All right? That's the slippery slope in action. They literally have the breast size of consent and the height of consent in law. He's chimping out many such cases.
You have done nothing but prove us right. That's how fucking stupid you are. By the way, I didn't take down the video. It got taken down by you people. Y'all motherfuckers just spam reported and spam disliked it because you have no other retaliation. But, yeah, that's about it. See ya. And always remember.
Good luck with that.
Bro. The thing is that he does feel like a loser because he is one, and then he likes to shit on other people to make himself feel better. Crazy. Well, that was, is there anything else? Does he literally play like a fucking 30-second video? Wow. That was quite the experience. Was it worth it? I mean, I'd say so. It was entertaining. Definitely fun to this guy's definitely more entertaining than some of the other people we have covered, so fuck it. I guess we'll have to keep giving him the attention. Glory to Kavodos. Yeah, here they're doing it here though. I like Blue Archive translating glory to Benjamin Netanyahu. How exactly are lolicons Jews? Like what? That's another thing, okay? These kinds of people just say everything they don't like is Jewish, okay? They've become the stereotypical, like, right-wing, like, far-right, low-IQ anti-Semite. Like, oh yeah, the low-IQ anti-Semite, that's real, except they're all libtards. Fuck. Anyway, I'll say I don't play Blue Archive, but I'll say I do like the art style. Motivates me to continue writing my novels. Ah, nice. It's cool how you're writing novels. That's great. So he said absolutely nothing, and he thinks he's superior. That's the thing. I mean, the whole video is just attacking people on very flimsy grounds. To be fair, I'm pretty sure both videos broke YouTube TOS. That's the thing. I mean, let's see. Keep in mind, even if it does, I don't think you should report it because I think it's kind of pussy. But I just want to see, does it actually say harassment or bullying? Suicide, self-harm, eating, you could maybe say that. I guess it would be either hateful or abusive or harassment. I'm not sure. I still don't think you should report it even if he does break TOS, but I definitely think it probably does. He never did show a comment making a genuine argument against his point, just straw men and people he finds as an easy target to bully. Yeah, exactly. Sees a neo-Nazi in the video, but somehow it's Jewish Lamau. Yeah. Alright, somehow the neo-Nazi is Jewish. Okay, bro. That was just nauseating. Thanks for making the retard bearable, lol. Glory to the cunny. Yes, thank you very much, Elias guys. Alright, you helped gift us with the content tonight. So, that's always good. Let's see. It's fucking 3.5 hours. Should I keep going? What else is there to cover? I guess just the Blue Archive stuff. What else did I say I was even gonna do? Austria Ratio. Flagging is a cardinal sin. Yeah, exactly. Fuck, there's... Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. Apparently this is, like, one of Chibi Review's A-logs. Mad Black Entertainment. He's got, like, 1 billion fucking videos, and half of them are fucking members only for some reason. Who the fuck is getting a membership for Mad Black Entertainment? That's the real question. I'm glad I grew up in Germany because I would have had 5 abortions by now and be a hypersexual prostitute. We're here till the end, Kai. Keep going a bit. I missed the CDawgVA bit. Maybe that one video reaction. Lamaui looks awesome. What the fuck will we even talk about here? I really don't want to fucking listen to this guy. You know, so many of these videos are fucking members only. Holy, I've never seen this many members only videos on a channel. That's crazy. Popular. How the fuck is his most popular video members only? Does he really have that many fucking channel members? The real reason why they want black anime fans out of... Is this an actual high-effort video essay? That one isn't. Oh my god. Are we gonna have to fucking watch this soon? Man, maybe that one... he looks awesome. You should report it. People like him are scum and deserve to be squished out like the bug they are. Still don't condone that, but get what you mean. AI slop thumbnails doesn't inspire confidence. Aw, shit, man. Gonna need to give this black folks some money and shit. Yo, maybe I gotta do the members-only video grift. I mean, if these videos really got 2,000 views, and this guy has 2,000 channel members, I mean, damn! That's pretty good. the channel member grift. There's a never-ending stream of the grifts. Okay? Anyways, but... I think because we're on Blue Archive, I'll do the Blue Archive stuff. Although actually, I'll be right back real quick. I gotta refill on my water. But yeah, once I'm back, I'll do the Blue Archive personality quiz and then the Blue Archive character sorter. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Hey, everyone. Anything happened in the chat? Doesn't look like it. Anyway, so we'll start with this quiz, and then we have the character sorter actually might take a while. But we'll see. Oh, yeah, and I think we'll do this next time. The AI fanfiction stuff. But we'll start with this. So enter your name. Kai. 53 different results. And it's from January of 2023. So it's been a while, but let's see what we get. Character sorter is massive. Yeah, it's going to take a while, but fuck it. Long stream already. We can keep going. What's your MBTI type? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? I think I'm INTP. I've done it like 3 times and I've gotten 3 different answers, so I'll just do INTP, I guess. Alright, first some general personality questions. What is a trait people generally perceive you as? Oh my god, bro. This is like I'm in a job interview. Please describe, how would you describe yourself in 3 words? I'm not really sure. I don't know, I mean... energetic, active, definitely not that. Responsible, strict, intimidating, professional, composed, quiet. Shy, and I guess people would probably say this one. Alright, because I mean, IRL, I don't know, I'm definitely pretty quiet when I first meet people, so I guess I'll say that. Yeah, I guess I'll just go with that. Do you consider yourself book smart or street smart? Now, that's a good question, actually. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll just say both. Fuck it. What's a go-to way for you to unwind? Obviously, games. Do you prefer being outside or indoors? Indoors. How many friends do you have? Well, I guess I'll say I'm not great with people. But I still have people I care for. That's probably fine. Time for more serious questions. So what's your opinion on yourself? I mean, you can always improve, right? And flashbacks to Quizilla and Facebook. Dear God, how long was I out? More of a quiet airhead and caring, yeah. Let's see, it's something you tend to hide from people. My past sins. Vulnerability, anxieties, true feelings. I guess true feelings, okay? It's tough being a lone chud. A lone chud in a world full of normies. What's a major flaw of yours? Bad communicating, insensitive, act without thinking, too passive, tend to assume the worst in people. I guess I can be insensitive. I mean, yeah. I wouldn't really say I'm like I wouldn't really say I'm ignorant, but I can be pretty insensitive to people. I don't know, I mean, I guess I'll just do that one. How do you feel about romantic love? Not in my mind. I'm afraid of it, afraid of being vulnerable. Love is a nice feeling. Do anything for that special person. I deeply desire to find love. I'm not sure how to feel about it. I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, it's very complicated. Alright, I'm a bit of... Not to say that I despise romance, but in this modern era especially, I think it's pretty infeasible. How do you feel about violence? Feels exhilarating at times. People inevitably resort to it. Can be necessary to protect your ideals or peace. Yeah, I'll say that much for sure. Avoidant love type detected. Man, is everyone gonna psychoanalyze me over this fucking stupid Blue Archive personality test now? Fuck. What do you want most in life right now? Self-improvement, recognition, time to relax, time with friends, freedom. I'm gonna go freedom, alright? Okay, that'd be nice, alright? Especially in this broke-ass economy, alright? Man. there a moment in your life that would say changed you drastically or was traumatic? Abnormal upbringing, fear of losing someone dear to me, a change in environment, outcasted. I guess nothing that traumatic really happened to me. What kind of quality do you want most in someone? Someone who will accept me no matter what. Someone who will guide me in the right direction. Someone to lean on in hard times. Well, if this is someone, so just a general random person, or like a special someone. Someone who can reassure me, lift me up, someone who will watch my back, listen, understand, someone I can see as my equal. I'm actually going to go with this one, because if this is like a friend, you know? Well, someone who is your... I mean, it depends. I mean, for a friend, like, you want someone who can watch your back. I mean, a lot of these are kind of similar. Like, lean on in hard times, watch your back. You know, those are kind of... You know, those are very similar, right? But... Or even, like, listen and understand me and accept me no matter what. Those are also very similar. Friend or void. That's the thing, right? So if it's friend or... So it kind of depends, but... Man. I guess if we're talking to friend, I'll do someone I can see as my equal, you know? Talking to women is already enough to count as rape in Germany, at least. Fuck, man. Last of the personal questions, choose one. Optimist, pessimist, ideal. I guess I'll do realist. I'm kind of an idealist in some ways, and I am pretty pessimistic, but I mean, I try and be objective, right? More fun, abstract question from here. Choose an image. Okay, good. Image I have on my phone. Okay, hell yeah. I gotta do the Fumo, okay? Legally obligated to do the Fumo. Choose a word. Kino, mid, shut up, based, oomphy, riz. What do any of those mean? Scrunkly. I'm gonna go Kino. People are trying to slander you online. How do you respond? Block, muted, ignored, private's account. Nice argument. Unfortunately, types an essay on why said person is wrong. What'd I do? My bad. There's a pipe bomb in your mailbox. Kill yourself. Take this down. I'm in your walls. I wonder. Weirdly enough, I don't actually get that much I mean, I guess I got the Witch Hat Atelier video. But when that happens, I just ignore it, you know? So if people are actually just slandering me or just shitting on me, I mean, like, there's not really much you can do. So I guess this much, I don't block people, though, because that's kind of gay, but I do ignore them. I'm gonna riz the fuck out. I'll just do that one. You've been arrested. What was the crime? Bad misunderstanding, theft, terrorist. Okay, it's gotta be that one. Sexual misconduct, assault, battery, treason, being too silly. Nice try, feds. Oh yeah, I better do that. Some obscure and strangely specific crime. I'm an upstanding and law-abiding citizen. How is that the... Man. How is that the video to get so many people mad? I don't know, it's especially funny because I have multiple videos defending Lolicon, yet somehow the Witch Hat video gets all the hate. It's just the one that a bunch of leftists started watching for some reason. I don't really know why. Pick an emote. Gotta do XD. That's a classic. Or should I do 07? I'm gonna do XD. Lastly, choose a song from the OST. I'm gonna do Constant Moderato. That's a good one. Let's see, who do I get? Who do I get? Is it loading? I got Yuka! I got Yuka. 100 kilograms, or was that calculation off? Inferences I can make about you. Very organized, or just a perfectionist in general, needs to warm up to people, but pretty sociable, advice giver. You know, actually, kind of accurate, actually. I mean, I'm not pretty satisfied with that result. Wow, that's crazy. Does this mean I'm certified? Man, if I'm like Yuka, does that mean I'm certified husband material for Yuka? I mean, that's definitely how the logic works, right? Fuck. Man, crazy. I wonder what the other ones are. I saw some online. Oh my god, the most common one is Noah. And then Midori, Hoshino, Misaki, Miyu, Karen, Momoe, Kayoko. Who's the... Holy shit, no one's out here getting Shiroko, Aru, or Hiyori. Fuck, that's hilarious. And then Sherino, Shigure, Hifumi, Saki, Toki, Kokuna. Interesting. So, I guess I'm most like Yuka. Honestly, pretty cool. Nice. Is there a Natsu percent? Ooh. Is Natsu on here? No, there's no Natsu. Let me just double check. Oh, I don't think it actually looks that up. So if I do Noah. Oh, it does. So I guess I don't think there's a Natsu then. Because I don't see any Natsu. Yeah, there's no Natsu, unfortunately. I guess you can be the first anyway. How long does this thing take? Does anyone know how long the character sorter takes? Because if it takes like an hour, then I think maybe I'll just save it for another time. Or even like 30 minutes is probably too long. Because we're almost at 4 hours. I actually gotta I gotta log off pretty quick, actually. Yeah. So, how about we start and then we'll see. Does it show like a progress? 30 students. Not interested. To exclude them. Okay, so I guess you could do not interested to speed it up. But, let's see. Let's see how long. Okay, 1,000? Oh my fucking god. Logging off is what I tell people I'm doing when I take... That's funny. Okay, we'll do like 10 and see what we get to. So Hasumi, obviously. This one's okay, Plana, I'm gonna say. Fubuki. Let's see. Oh, obviously Momoe, okay, come on. I actually like her a lot. Okay, now this is... Okay, it has to be Makoto, come on. I gotta do Oz. Okay, this is gonna take forever, actually. 5-hour stream. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to save this for another time. This is gonna take way too long. Yeah, we'll save it. Man, you can get a backup code. Let me speed through it a little more. I'm gonna do Iori. Okay, yeah, we're only at 2 fucking percent. This is probably gonna take a long time, especially if I want to give commentary on all the characters. Then, yeah, this is gonna take too long. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Should I talk about anything else? Oh fuck. Let's save the brat for another time. That's funny. I don't know. Anything good to end the stream on? I don't know. Anyone hear about anything funny? I just got Austria. I guess we'll save that for another time. I'm never gonna get around to fucking Austria Ratio. That's never gonna fucking happen. Although I do want to talk about it. We're getting more info all the fucking time. And it's supposed to come out later this year. When it comes out, I will be doing a stream. I'm planning on it. Yeah, that was a long stream indeed. I will be doing a stream on Austria Ratio. It should be coming out in October. That's my September, October, maybe. It's my prediction. We'll see. Should be fun. But yeah, I guess that's it. We'll end it on here. He showed my biggest hits. Man. Austria Ratio is the new Disney adults. Fuck, you're right, man. What's your take on anime, man? He feels like he just cries a lot in his recent vids. I guess he kind of is. I don't know. Anime man's kind of a special case. Because I do think he's a real otaku, but then he did sell out, you know, to go mainstream, but now he's kind of backpedaling. I don't think he was ever as bad as, like, Giguk, because Giguk was always, like, very, you know, open with his love of, you know, trash anime, otaku anime, right? And then he's, like, you know, has sort of really tried to backpedal on that. You know, I feel like Joey sort of had a more refined palette, at least on the surface, even though he did review Yosuga no Sora and Kiss Sis. But I don't know. I mean, look, if he's deciding to you know, come back to the light side. I'll give him a pass. I've been generous with him so far. You know, I don't really mind him that much. Anyways, well, Astre Oratio have a sensei. Their protagonist is called Shunin, I think, and it means chief. And apparently he can transform into a cat, which is pretty weird. But I don't know. Everyone was predicting that it was going to be like a straight Shota game early on. I don't think it is, but it's kind of weird. But I don't know. I still got to look into it. Since last thing I watched was the like the first proper trailer. If you can't molest the students in this game, I'm gonna kill myself. I don't know. Are all the characters even students? I'm not even sure because the setting's completely different. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. A lot of people still got a bone to pick with the creators, rightfully so, I'd say. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to try at least. And you know, competition in the markets, it's not a bad thing, right? Anyways, what else? I think that's it. I don't know. Anyone got any other questions? Probably not. Let me go check. Let me check one more thing. And it's ready to, yeah, just about ready to log off. Yeah, should be everything. All right, well, thank you guys all for watching. Oh, okay, hit me with it, MGTY. Let's hear it. Anyways, while you talk about that, I'm going to thank, wait, Natsu's my favorite character, and I would bully her and call her Fatsu. Thank you for that. Man, it's all in good fun, right? Man, that reminds me of something. I don't know, maybe we'll talk about it another time. It's a funny story. That was the question. Good night. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Anyways, thank you to today's donors. Thank you to Buckley, and especially thank you to Elias Guys for the $20. Also a channel member. All right. And also, thank you very much to the channel members, Purple Face Punk and Elias Guys. All right, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys all for watching. This has been Kai Marin, and